Anyway, okay, we're live now. Finally, we did it. We are here.
Anyway,
sorry for the long delay, guys. We had some things we needed to take care of, but we are here. The Demiplane is holding up, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Grayson, please don't fail me now. So, hi guys, it's Saturday. Welcome to Demiplanes and Doodles. I'm a Vic. There's a Lynn under the floorboard somewhere.
Yes, it's warm here.
Yes, there you are. They're insulated.
God, that'd be so nice.
Oh god, right. Oh my god, heated floors. Can you imagine?
No, I was actually just about to say, like, when we were in our, like, little vacation, like, cabin thingy, like, one of the areas in the cabin we were staying at had heated floors.
Ooh.
Just one of the rooms. It was, like, heated, like, it wasn't wood, laminate, maybe? I don't know, but it was heated, and we had to make sure we always kept it off.
That's nice. I mean, I'd keep it on all the time, honestly.
I would, too. Like, I wish I had that kind of technology.
Right. But yeah, so, hi, I'm a Vic, there's a Lynn, and we also have a Tabitha here, because we have...
I'm here.
Tabitha is here. What?
I
just said Chat Mom here.
Chat Mom is here.
I stay here.
Everybody behave, Chat Mom is here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hey guys, we are back from our mini vacation as the holidays had happened, and Lynn was kidnapped to the wilds of Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And never returned. So here we are with Lynn's changeling copy.
I came out of the Feywild, it's fine.
It's
I
fine.
told Vic, I let you know. Immediately, I was like, here's the pool, like, and here's the cave I came out of. It's great. Like, it's scenic.
It's like, so here's the pool where Lynn fell in and never returned from, and I am here to replace Lynn. So it's like, all right, this is acceptable. Are you free on Saturday nights? Yes. Okay.
All right, children, drink your milk, get your blankets. We're going to talk about Spoopy tonight.
We are going to talk about Spoopy. Hold on. Why does this taste more cranberry than vodka?
That is a problem.
That's a problem.
I mean...
No, hold on. I gotta hold it to the mic because I like the sound it makes. So, there it is. I love this vodka bottle. So,
I just want to keep it after.
No, I do. But yeah, so, the vodka's out, which means that, Uncle Vic is gonna get easily spooked because tonight we are talking about horror. Wait, hold on. Let me try to... I need to channel my Tabin voice.
Oh, no.
What? I'm very proud of it, thank you.
I'm just like Grayson's just like, oh no, Tabin voice is coming.
I spent a lot of money to get this Tabin voice, okay? Exactly, hold on. What's 15 times 4?
Don't make me do math live.
Oh, I don't want to do math live.
How dare you?
It's probably more than that, but, you know. I'm going to do math. I've spent at least over $80 to be able to make this sound.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, I'm very proud of it, thank you. So, yes, we are here to talk about horror.
Horror.
I'm going to exploit this for as much as I can.
Woohoo. And we've never specifically talked about horror. I think we talked about creepypastas and cryptids, but
yes,
we've never
we did.
done like horror as a genre.
No, we have genre.
Genre.
As a genre. So yeah, I'm coming for you, corpse.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely, I am coming for you, corpse. Anyway, I will never hit the base that he has. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so yeah, let's roll through our announcements first before we get into all of the spooky stuff. So, as always, we have our friends at Talon and Claw, which go to the link down below. You can check out their Etsy shop. They make wonderful tabletop products out of wood, and they make these beautiful wooden D20s. They have dice sets, they have dice vaults, DM screens, spell slot trackers for all of you spellcasters.
You know what my favorite thing about them is
Yes.
is when on like their social medias and Twitter they like post videos and pictures of them picking out the wood.
I love that. I also love it when...
do too.
Like, I loved it when, what was it, the other day? They're like, we just got a surplus shipment of Purple Heart, so guess what? Purple Heart, I believe it was like Purple Heart Council of Sevens were $25. So, go check out their Etsy. Their Purple Heart should be $25. Plus, we have a coupon code. If you use Divine Conquer at checkout, you get 10% off of that. So, $25 Council of 7 Purple Heart plus 10% off. You can't beat that. Go buy someone something nice for Christmas. We all know you might have Secret Santas you gotta shop for.
And like just going back to their like knowledge of trees and wood, and like I just love watching people talk about things they're passionate about, even though I don't know what they're talking about.
Dude,
like, this
yes.
is this kind of wood.
The
And
energy that they
great.
have
Isn't
is
it
so beautiful.
I'm like, yes, it is. Like, I don't know what words you just said, but it's pretty.
I absolutely love it when people talk about things that they are passionate about, because it's just like, I love the energy.
They have a TikTok? They should get a TikTok.
Talon Claw, if you're listening,
TikTok.
you need a TikTok, because we want to see videos of that sexy wood being made, and also you talking about said wood.
I would love that, not gonna lie. I follow like the people who like are like, oh, I'm at the beach and I found this shrimp. I'm gonna put it back in the ocean. Like, it's just really simple stuff.
I love educational TikTok.
Ones.
Yes.
The mushroom ones and like the lady
hello,
with
friend.
Lace. I know that guy. Hello, friend.
Oh, hello, friend. Oh, chunky. I love those. I love those TikToks. Luigi.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's where we're at tonight. Anyway. Check out Talon Claw. We have a coupon code, 10% off. So,
Huzzah.
Huzzah. So, speaking of things we're passionate about, hey, Lynn, let's talk about our thing.
Our thing.
Yes.
So, I have some things I want to talk about that, actually.
Yeah, what's up?
So, I've actually started taking classes in storyboarding and character design.
My favorite things to do!
I know. I finally decided to sign up for the storyboarding class because I was so scared about it.
I love
and I started
storyboarding.
doing it.
Yo, I have been asked to do a storyboarding thing, and I'm really excited about it.
It's good stuff. But I can ask you for help now, which I'm excited about.
Yay!
Anyway, but I've also started taking courses in character design. So I just want to give a heads up. As with the holidays as well, I'm going to be in and out of my apartment and away from my equipment, so it's going to be a little shaky through December. I apologize in advance if it's not, like, things aren't getting uploaded at an accurate time. So
we are trying our best.
I apologize for that. We are trying our best. We're learning new things. This is our first big project.
Right.
But I will say I am super excited because all of the classwork I'm going to be doing, I am translating into the Alistair webcomic and the universe. So all the things I'm learning, I'm going to be uploading onto our Patreon.
I'm so
for
excited.
all patrons to see.
I'm so excited for this.
So you can be any tier, dollar tier, but you're going to be seeing a lot of really cool, hopefully progress things. Like the art style might even change a little bit.
Which honestly,
more streamlined.
Like honestly, it's always my. That's like honestly one of my favorite things about like reading webcomics and like comics in general is like, especially if it's like a long-standing project, I love going back to like the first issue and then comparing it to the last issue because I'm like, oh my god, look how much this person progressed as an artist. That's fucking amazing. I love that so much.
I think it's, especially with like things like this, what like the plans we have for it. I think I was definitely afraid of things changing, like and like stuff not looking how it should be. But now I'm like super excited to see like the art become more streamlined, the backgrounds become more detailed. Like, and now that I'm taking storyboarding, I'm going to be doing a lot more scenic shots and like cinematic things, and I'm very, very, very excited for it. And I am going to be uploading all of the progress, all of the back behind scene things only on Patreon for the patrons.
Can I say a fun fact about Vic real quick?
Yes.
Fun fact, one of my favorite genres of movies is westerns, and my favorite things about westerns is the long-standing wide shots of scenery. So like I love landscape pieces so much because it looks so nice, especially with like a character just kind of like dwarfed in the shot. It's so beautiful.
I really want to do more of those.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's like this is me and Vic's passion project.
Yeah,
and
we have such
this is something. This is something that we're doing for fun, and we want to share with everyone. So you can be a patron if you want. You are not obligated by any means.
We are not forcing anyone to do anything.
Oh no, if this is not something you're cool with, you can choose to opt out. If you want to, you can stay on the Discord with us. It's completely fine. This is just something we are doing for fun and we want to share with you.
Yeah, which I would say we've probably had people like jump up and down in tiers and like subscriptions and stuff, which is okay because everybody's situation is always different and we are not judging. So like, if you can't afford the Patreon, it's okay. Like that's totally fine. We still love to hang out with you.
Message us.
Yeah, message us.
Be like, hey, we want to support you. Can we help in any other way? We'll invite you to the Discord as an honorary
Absolutely.
bro. We have plenty of them.
We have honorary broships. So like, if you, it's like, if you can't subscribe to the Patreon because money is tight, and I completely understand. Like, and you just and you want to still be a part of like everything going on and like the groups and stuff. Yeah, send us a message. We'll give you an invite to the Discord. It's totally cool.
Or if you have friends.
Yeah.
It's like. This, when I first started this out, I was so worried about it being so, like, the business side of everything. And Like, this is something that we want to tell a story. It's part of us. We're telling bits of ourselves through this thing. And it is open to all.
Yes, absolutely.
And we're not going to, like, block anyone through paywalls or anything.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Like, the Patreon gives the added bonus of you get content early, plus you get, like, behind the scenes. However, the comic is still free to read on Webtoon, so we're not preventing anybody from enjoying the story. Like, that's not what we want.
No. We might have a kind of wonky upload schedule, especially now at the holidays, but I assure you it's because we're trying to make it better.
Yes, absolutely. And as always, like, if you're on the Discord, you will find out, as you go. Like, we will upload on the Discord and be like, hey, so this stuff's going on. The upload might be delayed, or we might post early, depending, like, like, just depending on the situation. We're all friends, and we are completely candid in everything going on in our lives. So if you join us on the Discord, you will learn that Lynn and I overshare everything. So,
We're the same person.
Yes, we are the same person. Secret. Yes. One brain cell. Let's just get into the Demiplane.
I really was just had like just a really passionate thing. I just really wanted to like just blurb about Alistair, so
I absolutely appreciate you for it.
I love Alistair with my heart and soul.
I love Alistair too. He's such a good boy, and the fact that you're playing him in my campaign is just, I love it so much.
Dear Frat.
Like, it's, on one hand, it's like,
a bit of a pickle.
Like, on one hand, it's a treat because I get to witness Alistair as he is, but on the other hand, I feel like I'm working at the same time because I'm like, I need to take these notes because I'm writing the script.
Yeah.
Alright.
Live, y'all. Anyway. Let's get spooky.
So tonight we are talking about horror.
There it is.
I wish I could do that all the time.
I made this off of something I found on Pinterest, so hats off to the person who made this. I didn't get their name.
I mean, that looks fantastic. You did a good job translating it into your style.
Yes.
Yes.
But let's be real, the anatomy of a skull, that's not how that works.
That's not how that works. But if it did, that'd be scary.
Ew.
Which we are here to talk about spooky things. So, as we get started in our talks about spooky stuff, hey chat, if you are listening, tell us what your favorite horror movie is and why. Or favorite, like, horror-related media.
Or even, like, a scene from a horror movie, like, that really got you.
Yeah, so...
Also, well, we should probably do, like, a spoiler alert every time we say something about something, right?
Or I guess. Like, I mean, all of the horror stuff that I've witnessed is probably like 20 years old at this point, so... Yeah. Is it really a spoiler?
If it's like new, I'll just say spoiler alert, or if it's like, hey, there's a warning to this. So
content warning. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm just like, eh.
I guess, starting with, hey, Tabitha, love of my life. What's your favorite horror movie and why?
Why you gotta make me choose?
Yeah, oh no, you have several. Okay, well just list what comes to your head first.
Well, it's funny, since we've recently did Call of Cthulhu.
Which, yeah, we did a Call of Cthulhu game, which was essentially heralded by Lynn, which was fantastic in every sense.
Thank you.
Yes.
If I want
A lot of that I pulled from movies.
I mean, I completely respect that because I don't watch horror movies. I watch horror movie reviews because I'm such a bitch for horror movies.
Probably one of my... If I do have to sit here and come down to it, H.P. Lovecraft's Reanimator. Reanimator is one of my favorites.
When you say what's your favorite horror movie, are you talking about what you find as something you can rewatch, or something that scared you the most, or something that made you really question yourself?
You know what? I'm gonna say it in the sense of...
I could say rewatch.
I would definitely say something that holds a special place in your heart. Like, if you watch a horror movie and your entire being goes, yes, that's what I consider a favorite horror movie.
God, I have to think about that.
Right. Like, for me...
Reanimator's kind of a horror comedy, but...
Horror comedy, but yeah, no. For me, definitely...
I really liked Hereditary.
Hereditary, I never watched it. However, I have watched film analyses of it. Of that movie. And I have to say, it's a movie I would not watch. However, I love it thematically.
And yes, short beard. The thing is, it's probably close.
Oh, absolutely. I was about to mention that. My favorite horror movie of all time is going to be John Carpenter's The Thing. I love that movie to death because it's, one, conceptually, I love it because it's the fear of the unknown and, like, the whole fear of, there is something among you that you do not know what it is. Like, I think for me, a lot of my favorite horror themes come from the fear of the unknown, the fear of things you don't understand, and it's like the lack of knowledge that makes it horrifying.
Do you think that ties into also, like, our shared fear of, like, space and, like, deep water?
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
The unknown?
There's actually a movie that I want to watch that's a horror movie that I haven't seen yet, and I'm afraid everybody's going to tell me it's going to suck. But, like, I want to see Underwater, the one with Kristen Stewart, because it looks very kind of Lovecraftian, but it's, like, the whole in a terrain that is not, capable of habitating life is also a really horrifying concept to me. Like, anything that has to do with space or, like, the deep ocean is absolutely horrifying.
I think it's funny, like, that, like, space and deep ocean have the duality because you're in a black void, you don't know what's up there. Also,
in a black void that is highly pressurized.
Pressure.
Yes.
Yeah, pressurized. It's horrifying.
Yeah. Because you could actually explode if you're not careful.
Real shit though. So for those that don't know,
was our cesspool not very deep?
Our cesspool was not very deep. We just kind of, like, mingled together for, like, a century, and then we're like, all right, peace.
And then your legs sprouted, and then you carried me out.
Basically, and then you just kind of, like, dropped halfway out and just crawled the rest of the way. All right, so for those that don't know, or aren't well versed in the lore of people in Divide and Conquer, I guess I'll use the word lore because it makes us more interesting.
The deep lore. We have lore.
We have lore. As people, we have lore.
There's lore.
So
we're all cryptids.
Father, my father, which he does play in our Friday game. I don't know how often he has talked about it because I can't quite recall. Thank you for showing the picture of The Shining for me. We will talk about that in a second.
Yes, we'll talk about that.
We're definitely talking about that one. My father, he is a writer. This is where I get my writing habits from. He is writing a series based around his actual tabletop games that he hosted for his students that he would teach in middle school, and so he's, like, writing an actual, like, story based around it, and it's fantastic because it's based around, like, things that are happening in the far future past nuclear war, and it's basically an environment that's learning to habitat life again. And one of the instances that absolutely horrified me as I was reading it, because I was, like, reading this religiously as he was writing it, one instance that happened was, spoiler alert, even though it's not technically published yet, but this is a thing, a character had to deal with an unfortunate accident that happened in a highly pressurized environment. And that was the grossest and worst thing for me to read as he was writing it. So, yeah, dealing with highly pressurized environments and things that aren't meant to habitat life is always going to be a horror thing that sticks with me, because my lizard brain goes, this is not meant to help me survive.
Fair. Like, that's the whole point of fear. I was actually listening to a like one of my podcasts that I always listen to about, like, you know, like overcoming things and things like that, because I love psychology and how the mind of people work.
Oh, absolutely. But, I love the psychology to horror movies.
Oh, it's so cool. But, like, yeah. I recently learned that humans have 2 innate fears that they are born with, and that is the fear of heights and the fear of, like, the dark.
Really?
Like,
I mean, that makes sense, like, because our eyes aren't meant for the dark, which is hilarious because we're scared of it.
Yeah, and it's more like fear of the dark, fear of the unknown. So we're born with those, and every other fear that we have is unknown or inherited. You can inherit people's fears, which I think is cool as hell. Yeah. So, and they did like a bunch of studies on it about how, like, you can inherit a fear because it, like, changes you, like, a gene in your DNA, and that can be inherited.
That is fucking wild to me.
Like, yeah, like, I forgot what the exact story of, like, this specific one I was listening to, but it was talking about how, like, one person, like, got their arm, like, severed off or something, and then, like, the fear of having something, like, become missing from their body was inherited by, like, their great-grandchild.
Whoa.
I mean, it was crazy.
That's wild. I mean, to me, it makes sense that, you know, depending on, like, which social circles you frequent, you will essentially adopt the fears of that social... Yeah, the mannerisms and the fears of that social circle, because, like, you are essentially ingrained into that, because we, as humans, are social animals.
Yep, I always think that's always, like, a fun paradox, because it's like, if you didn't grow up or have the friends you had, who would you be?
Exactly.
Ooh.
Don't give me existentialism this late at night. Don't do that.
But the thing is, though, like, that is my favorite genre of, like, horror or, like, books or anything is existentialism. I love it.
Okay, Addie.
Love that kind of stuff. But jumping back into, like, the horror train, like, I've never been afraid of serial killers, like the hack and slash, like, or gore. I've never been afraid of it. Like,
it's funny because, like,
or anything like that, like intruders, and, like, those are the most likely to happen, obviously.
I know,
like,
right?
I'm more afraid of, like, the supernatural.
Is it funny that, like, when you watch, like, slasher movies where, like, or, like, movies that deal with, like, a psychotic serial killer, you're, like, thinking to yourself, how would I handle this situation? Like, you know,
as a, like, victim or as the killer?
No, Lynn. The fact that
what?
Lynn.
Listen, I'm just saying.
Lynn. Do you fantasize yourself as the...
No.
Oh my god.
No, I'm just saying, like, as more of, like, hey, they're doing that incorrectly, they're gonna get caught.
I mean, fair. Yeah, valid. I love that you presented a second option, because my only thought was as the victim, and then you're like, as the killer? And I was like, now, I never had that school of thought before, but let's think about it now.
Everyone's in chat saying that I'm a cryptid. Y'all, I came from the cesspool in Virginia.
Yeah, we as we have discussed, Lynn is the Zodiac killer. Like, okay, so, as we have discussed, Lynn has disappeared into the wilds of Virginia and is to never return. She has been replaced by a changeling of the Feywild that came out of a water pool in the caves.
I have a picture. It's really pretty.
I know, it's a really pretty picture. Like, I have the pictures. It's fine. You know, we're accepting this, and Lynn too is learning to assimilate. So it's okay.
Let me defend myself here for a second. I listen, like, when I do my artwork, when I do my work for the webcomic, when I'm doing, like, commissions, I am listening to true crime podcasts constantly, because I love that stuff. It's great.
I have to ask, which true crime podcast do you listen to?
Well, it's not really a podcast, it's a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. I've been listening to a true crime podcast as of late, and I've been kind of, like, listening to it as I drive to and from work, because my commute is, like, 20 to 30 minutes, depending on traffic. and which it's perfect because the episodes are exactly that long. And so on Spotify, I've been listening to Crime Junkies, and it's like, oh my god,
you're having a moment.
Actually, you know what? I took a screen cap of an episode because I meant to send it to you, but I never did. Did you just delete that? Did you just delete that?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait, I didn't press a button. What happened?
But the thing I've been listening to is called That Chapter.
Okay. Oh my god, you've been listening to That Chapter? I love that guy.
I love that. That guy's awesome. Turty Churi.
I know. Oh my god. I have never... I love the fact that you listen to That Chapter, and like I've never once told you about him, but I've been listening to him too.
Because we're the same brain cell.
We are the same brain cell.
Even Cryptid Me has the same brain cell.
Okay, but the episode about the sun has disappeared though. Like I love that episode.
That's horrifying.
No, have you listened? Have you seen that episode?
No.
Where he talks about like, okay, it's an ARG, but like it's an ARG about like somebody living in a reality where the sun has completely vanished and like a lot of strange things are happening. Like it's a whole Twitter channel. Mm-hmm. Like you can go find it, and like it's like a person detailing like their survival through this realm where the sun is completely gone and all these weird like UFOs and like alien sightings are happening. It's so fucking creepy.
Yeah, I don't like
which full disclosure, ARGs scare the hell out of me. Like I know there's one going around on TikTok right now where that everybody probably has seen, where it's I think the first one that was noticed was a guy that was like putting his camera over a staircase, and you just like see and hear something quickly running up. That scares the hell out of me. So tying into the whole, fear of the unknown, fear of things you don't understand, which in my opinion, when it comes to horror movies, series, and or any media, the less you know about the monster or thing in general, the more horrifying it is. Which that's my psychology to it. Like the less you know, the more scary it is, because you don't know what are you doing.
That's the person looking up at the moon. It's Alistair. Bruh.
Bruh. I love that West is the moon. I mean, he physically has to look up at West, so it makes sense.
Yes. Perfect. But let me defend myself on the true podcast, like the true crime podcast thing, because everyone's thinking I'm like.
Because you have a question on the chat right now, and that is, if you had to murder someone,
how to indispose them, how would I do it?
Actually, this is a question for Tabby. Wife, love of my life.
What is it?
My sun and stars. If you had to dispose of a body, how would you do it? She actually has a criminology degree in this. She could probably tell us. Full disclosure.
If I had to murder someone, like, I don't think I ever could.
I mean, I
honestly don't think I could.
But if you had to. Oh no.
I don't know if I had.
Oh no.
I don't know.
Something over on my altar. I'm so sorry.
I have heard like a bunch of people say like, oh, if you have to bury someone outside, make sure you dig it deep enough, and then like bury a dead dog over top of it. So if there's cadaver dogs, you'll get a false positive because they'll dig up a dead dog and not a human. Like I've heard that before. No,
that's actually a thing that has happened in an actual in an actual crime, and it's a horrible one, and I will not. No, obviously it happened, but, like, the crime that's attached to it is actually really horrible, and I do not want to repeat it. I will message it to you later, and if anybody else is interested in what that is, I will message it to you, but I will not mention it on Twitch.
What's the name of the case?
Hold on one moment while I mute myself so I can tell my wife.
Oh.
One moment.
Yeah, you're fine. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like, while Vic's talking, I don't think I could ever actually harm anyone. I'm a big weenie, but I like true crime podcasts because I don't know, like, it's weird. Yeah, I'm too big of a weenie to ever do anything like that. But I don't know. My mom always jokes about saying using like an icicle as a means to like stab someone. That way, like the murder
I come back at
disappears.
icicle. What the fuck? Hey
Sounds
Tabitha.
like something the Zodiac killer would say.
Hey,
no,
Tabitha.
I was talking about how.
No, I'm gonna ask Tabitha real quick.
How...
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, I was gonna ask Tabitha real quick. Hey, you wanna discuss how an icicle is not a perfect murder weapon?
It's not.
It's not.
It's not?
It's
No,
not.
It's not.
Why is that? No, I'm just asking so you can explain to chat.
To me, I feel like it's not practical.
Because...
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Is it because it's not a practical weapon to use, that it's not, efficient enough, or the fact that it could leave trace evidence?
It can leave trace evidence, is the thing.
Yes.
Well, yeah, because it turns to water and melts, and then your DNA is all over it still.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Literally, if you do anything, you're gonna have DNA somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, unless you were, like, in a hazmat suit, which would be weird, but I don't know.
Okay, so...
Ooh, that's a good question. If you were asked to create a cryptid design specifically to scare the hell out of everyone, what would they be? They would be invisible. Because I scared you all with nothing.
You know what? That's pretty good, because you know what's a movie that actually scares the hell out of me? The Invisible Man.
Oh, really?
I mean,
that movie, like, are you talking about the newest one that just came out?
No.
Because I went and saw that one, and that was scary for different reasons.
No, that was scary from, like, a sexual abuser standpoint, obviously. But, no,
abuse in general, yeah.
Abuse in general, yeah. If you had to ever deal with an abuser that ended up being invisible, fuck that shit, one. Also, two,
Yeah.
the second, like, the science behind it was revealed, you're like, oh, fuck that shit. That's,
That's
I
what it
feel...
is.
I feel, again, keen into my point of... Once you understand how it works and you understand the rules of the monster, the less scary it is. So,
Yeah.
the less you know, the more creepy it is, which I'm gonna just be that person that's going to say my favorite horror podcast at the moment, which is The White Vault, because there is absolutely very little information about the creatures themselves in this podcast, but they are fucking horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all you know is, like, one, like, okay, I don't want to spoil anything, but, like, basically once the monsters are made apparent in this podcast, they are just absolutely horrifying, because all you know is that they are capable of mimicry, and they will take organs and teeth. Like, that's all you know. And you don't know why. And they are there. And they are fucking horrifying.
Can I give spoilers about the Call of Cthulhu game?
No, go for it. Like, it's not like it's a game we streamed. Like, that was your own personal game you ran for us, and I'm so thankful you did. Let's talk about that.
If you want to talk about it, we can talk about
No,
it.
let's absolutely
talk
talk
about the monster.
Oh my god, let's start drawing characters from it.
Oh.
Go for it.
No, what's up, Tab?
No, I was going to answer the one question.
No, the one question about, creating a cryptid?
No.
What's up?
Before that.
The one before that? Hold on. I gotta read. The dispose of a body?
Say it.
Do it. What's up?
Hydrochloric acid.
Hydrochloric acid? How would you source it to where it's not traceable to you?
Salt and vinegar.
Yeah?
Mixing that. And then...
For legal reasons, this is a
All
joke.
you gotta do is dissolve hydrogen chloride in water, and then you get hydrochloric acid.
Hydrogen chloride in water?
Yeah.
So for legal reasons, this is a joke.
Yeah, chemistry's fun.
It's all hypothetical.
This is all hypothetical, but, we have somebody with an actual criminology degree, so,
Yeah. Chemistry's fun, but you also have to have a strong enough,
For the record, porcelain is not strong enough.
No,
so don't do it in your tub.
Quote Breaking Bad. No.
Don't do it in your tub. Doesn't it have to be like a non-soluble kind of plastic or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, for legal reasons, a joke. And hypothetical.
It's a joke. This is hypothetical. Also, y'all, if you all have some sort of issue, please seek help. Don't resort to extreme measures. Thank you. Anyway,
so now it's being theorized that you're the Zodiac Killer, Tabitha. Which, I feel like it might line up, timeline-wise. You're probably like what? Non-existent when the Zodiac killings were happening.
Hear me out.
Exactly.
Hear me out. What if
You were just a twinkle in your father's eye.
What if the Zodiac killer is
oh my god, John's the Zodiac killer.
No. What if the Zodiac killer is like like Dread Captain Roberts situation?
A captain what?
Like the Dread Pirate Captain. Like
oh.
What if it's a title that's passed down?
That's an interesting theory.
Anyway, so we're saying that it's definitely that one Texas senator, right? That's the joke, right?
Anyway.
Actually, no, that does make sense, but, like, I feel like the Zodiac Killer, me personally, like, if we're going to keep talking about true crime for, like, 5 minutes, me personally, I feel like the Zodiac Killer, it was a really easy case to solve. It was just the incompetence of actual law enforcement.
Which is funny because
it's the same way with the Black Dahlia murders, too.
Yes.
With the with all the true crime podcasts and like things I've listened to, it's almost always the incompetence of the people trying to solve the case.
No, absolutely.
Almost always. And like,
I also love it when it's like when it's like murders that happen before forensic science happen, and it's just like, hey chief, we found a pool of blood that might belong to the killer, and mop it up.
Well, no, my thing is that when you sit there and say, I mean,
you're right.
There is a lot of incompetence that comes to police officers. There's a very famous serial killer that hits close to home for me.
Yes. Oh, that's right! Do you want to... I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to talk about it, you can.
I don't really like talking about it because I feel like people will be like, you're true crime bragging.
No, it's not bragging, but it's like a legit thing that happened in your family. So if you want to talk about it, you can.
My family was raised up in the Chicago area, and one of my dad's family members was a victim of John Wayne Gacy.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Gross.
And when everything had happened and stuff, I mean, yes, he was known for being a clown and, like, you know, for children's, like, parties and stuff like that, but family members were, when they noticed that, you know, yeah, okay, their kid disappeared. Okay, well, we want you to go and investigate into Gacy. We feel like he's responsible for it.
They never did.
And they never did. They didn't follow up with it.
Of course not, because, like, I always love that the common thing that people do say whenever they actually have an idea of who the killer is. No, it can't be that guy. He's such a nice person.
That's why his wife was so, in denial about it.
Of course. True crime is...
And I will say...
True crime's horrifying.
I will say, like, that's just, like, the fallacy and the hubris of man in general.
Yeah,
like,
you want to give, like, the benefit of the doubt in that scenario, but, like, you know...
Like, I want to say it's just, you know, the hubris, and, like, at the time, you think you're doing the right thing, but in hindsight, you're like, oh, these guys are fucking stupid. Like, why didn't they see it? But I get it, and also, but there is a certain level of incompetence as well, and sometimes it's just blatant, like, they might have been bought out by someone or something, you know?
Right. Oh, yeah, because, you know, you never know which...
with the Black Dahlia murder.
Yeah, which you never know...
Someone that was...
Yeah.
Because, like, at the times, you never know which precinct was, like, you know, paid out or something. Like, that's, like...
You could... There was obvious that happened.
True crime's fun, guys.
No, but, at the same time, on the, moral, aspect of, like, you know, oh, well, we don't think they would ever do something like that. When I was in college doing my degree for criminal justice, in my violent offenders class, I also had a co-student who their dad went to high school with Jeffrey Dahmer. So.
Yikes!
And they were all shocked with that.
Yeah, hard yikes.
Because they were like, but he was such a class clown. Why? And it's like...
Yeah, that's the funny part.
But they knew his dad was also really abusive and shit, so... But it was just not something that a lot of people were like, Yeah, we're not going to talk about that out loud, sort of thing.
No, right? Yeah, that's a thing.
Getting back on like the theme of horror and stuff,
which
like,
I mean, technically,
saying,
but
like,
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, as far as like true crime goes, as much as I listen to it, it doesn't instill fear in me.
It just, it doesn't instill fear. It just instills disappointment in humanity as a whole.
Yeah.
Like it also, I also just like end up thinking like about like, okay, so like today, because I was listening to like podcasts before I went to work, so naturally when I called you before I went off work and it was dark, I was like, hey, by the way, I'm going to the gas station in case that's the last place you ever hear from me. Like, you know, it has me thinking in that mentality, which is, I mean, it's awful, but that's the mentality that I end up with when I listen to true crime for, like, hours on end.
Yep.
Which also, fun fact, if you ever need to, make sure that you have a Google Doc filled with your passwords and usernames for all of your social medias in case of those issues, and just give them to somebody that you trust completely.
Well, Facebook has a thing for that now. Like, you can give someone, like, part of, like, I guess, like, they can emergency log into your stuff if you need to. If they
yeah.
Which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, because, you know, subpoenaing takes days, so... Mm-hmm. Anyway, off of that...
Yeah, as far as, like, horror, I am creeped out by the paranormal and, like, contortions, I guess? Like the lady from The Grudge and how she like crawls around creeps me the hell out.
It's so funny because, yeah, that's what scares me more. Is the sound.
That doesn't scare me.
You don't like?
I'm a visual.
You're a visual. No, same. Honestly, I mean, for me, so much. It's one of those things where I'm more horrified by. Oh God.
Just say dolls.
I hate dolls. But anyway, like, I fucking hate dolls. No, so, when it comes to horror, the things that will always, like, make me physically turn away from a screen if it's on, like, if it's happening, one of them is, like, as I've probably expressed many times before, is I cannot stand the sight of snakes eating things. Like, that scares the hell out of me. I don't like it. So I have to, like, look away whenever, like, a snake or snake thing is eating something. I'm like, nope, can't do it. But that comes from a whole psychosis from, like, grade school where I was forced to witness a snake, our class pet, eat a mouse because our science teacher thought it was a great idea to subject 9-year-olds to that.
Oh, yeah, ours did that, too.
So that's all on me, so, like, you know, whatever. So, like, I try to avoid anything related to, like, snakes, you know, consuming stuff as much as I can. What else? Dolls. I hate dolls because every time I have to deal with dolls, it's always like a haunted doll scenario, like in movies or TV or whatever.
Or in D&D.
That's
gonna pop up. I'm sure that'll still.
If that pops up again, I swear to God.
So, Vic, did I ever tell you like what originally happened to Grayson's father? In his OG campaign? Did I ever tell you about that?
No, I think you did. No, I think you did. You told me that he died and that his body was being used as a puppet by the BBEG. I think that's what you told me.
It wasn't his body. It was his eyes were removed from his body and put into a puppet that kind of looked like him. And he was attacking Grayson.
So, no. One, no. Two, I love Tabin too much as a person to do that, so...
Oh, it was awful. Like, oof, that was a rough week. That was like also the way that lined up and how we were playing the game. This is about to get real dark, so spoiler alert there. But
content warning.
Content warning here. But like our DM had planned that session the same week my dad actually passed away, like a couple years before.
That's fucking rough, though.
My character was dealing with the death of his own father.
While you were dealing with yours.
Yeah, but like...
That is so rough.
Well, he didn't do it on purpose. And
I know that. You could not plan for that.
Oh, not at all. And like, it happened like maybe 2 years previous or something like that. So like, time had passed.
Like,
but,
honestly though, like it's one of those things where I know you as a person where you would not say that. You would just be like, yeah, this is happening to me, but it's okay. Like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, I'm gonna worry about it.
no, I told my DM afterwards. I'm like, it's funny that this happened because this, and like in the game, he's like, oh, okay, like
I would honestly feel like such an asshole, honestly.
So like in the game, Grayson, like, he defeated the thing that was happening, and the DM was like, hey, Grayson, do you want to do anything? Your father's body's here, like, whatever, like, what do you want to do? And I said, Grayson's gonna take out his journal and his writing tools and stuff, and he's gonna write a letter to his father and put it inside of his father's pocket for his dad.
I'm so sad.
Bury his father. Wait, hold on. And I did the whole thing. We did the whole roleplay thing at the end of the game because me and my DM were very close, and we're just chilling at his apartment. And I was like, yeah, it's really funny that like this happened this week because this is the same, like, the anniversary of my father's death, like my actual father's passing. And he's like, holy crap, I'm so sorry. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like,
that's exactly that would exactly be my reaction, honestly. I'd be like, oh, fuck, I am so sorry.
And he asked me, like, he's like, what did Grayson write and put in his father's jacket as he buried him underneath this, like, stump of a tree? And I was like, oh, I wrote what I wrote to my own father and put in his casket. I wrote that. Like, I rewrote it for Grayson, for his father. And my DM just was like, I absolutely love that. And you get all the inspiration points. You can use it for whatever.
Honestly, I would have immediately started crying. If that was me in that scenario and that happened and you tell me that, I would probably immediately start crying. I'd be like, oh my god.
It's like, I don't know, like,
I get it.
And, Grayson is very much so a character that I have learned to cope with a lot of emotions.
I've seen the TikTok. He's your self-insert. I understand.
He really is. Yeah, he is. He was my vessel for coping with, like, the fear of death and, like, my father passing and, like, and stuff like that. So it's really fun. Aww. Like, I really enjoy it, and I think it's made him a great character, and it's made me feel a lot better too. So.
Aw, that's good to hear.
But anyway, I digress.
Anyway. As I'm currently drawing my Call of Cthulhu character at the moment. Connor.
So yeah,
which was
I guess we could talk about.
Yeah, 2 sessions of me doing a really shitty Scottish accent.
It was Stranger.
It was, half the time I was reverting to Stranger.
Pretty much.
I can't do a Celtic accent to save my fucking life, so everybody had to deal with that. But I guess it was.
What was the one Nick kept doing? Nick was trying to do like a Cajun accent, and he kept doing like. He
kept doing Irish because I was. He kept going to Irish because I was doing a really shitty Scottish accent, and that just like prompted him instinctually to go Irish. And I was like, I'm so sorry that my really poor excuse of a Celtic accent's doing this to you.
Aw. That was so funny.
I mean, that was a fun game. Let's definitely talk about that because. Honestly, like, I don't like to subject myself to horror scenarios because I am a very anxious person. So anything that would, like, completely...
Why did you do this, then?
Okay, I will tell you why. So the reason why I did this was because me personally, Vic, I love horror as, like... I love the concept of it. I love it thematically because it's just such a fun thing to explore. It's fun to explore, like, the human nature through, like, really extreme circumstances, like dealing with, like, monsters, ghosts, and all that, even though ghosts scare the absolute shit out of me. And I would never put myself in a scenario again that deals with ghosts because I've had to be put in that scenario before, and it's not a fun scenario to be in. Mm-hmm. Because I know
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Vic was subjected to a Vic was subjected to a whole scenario where in college I was pulled out of my bed at like 11 p.m. because my friends at the time were like, "Hey, let's go hang out," and I was like, "Okay, sure, let's go hang out," and. I waited for them to come pick me up. I get in their car, and I'm like, all right, what are we doing? Oh, we're going to stop by so-and-so's place, but after that, we're going to a cemetery to do a seance. And I was like, what?
Whoopsie.
So I was subjected to doing a seance at like midnight in a cemetery in the backwoods of Nacogdoches, Texas, which for those that don't know, Nacogdoches is the oldest town in Texas. This is essentially the first settlement town that happened when people decided that they had enough of the colonies and were like, we're going to do our own state. So they came down to Texas. It was like the old 300 thing. The things that we learn in Texas history, because in Texas we have to take a whole fucking semester out of our we have to take like a whole semester out of school to learn about Texas history. That's a whole thing. But yeah, so basically Nacogdoches, Texas, first town in Texas. So we went to like this backroads town, this backroads kind of cemetery thing. We sat there, and by the way, none of my friends knew how to conduct a proper seance. It was just the one friend who's like, yeah, I Googled it on a WikiHow. Let's try this. And so, like, they weren't doing any of the... For anybody who subscribes to, you know, paganism or anything like that, they weren't doing anything proper. They were just like, yeah, let's light a candle. And I'm like, shouldn't you, like, establish a circle? Shouldn't you, like, you know, make your points known? Shouldn't you, like, you know, cleanse an area? And it's like, no, we're just going to light a candle, hold hands, and see what happens. Okay.
Do you have didn't do anything?
Do you have any salt that will, like, you know, help, like, establish a circle or a barrier? And they're like, yeah, we got some salt from Walmart, and they hold up like a fucking canister of iodized salt.
Hey, you know,
I'm like, sure, I guess.
You can use it's all about intention, is what I've learned.
I know, but like in the moment, as somebody who was like a baby pagan, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna die out here.
Oh.
But yeah, so there was a whole scenario where we did a seance. Some not so kosher things happened for me. That being, like, I heard stuff, and, like, you know, there was footsteps in the graveyard. Whether or not they were really there or not, who knows. But anyway, I was subjected to a paranormal experience. Did not like it. Was not great. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. But yeah.
Fair.
I don't like being subjected to, like, spooky stuff. But as far as, like, thematic elements go, I do enjoy horror as a concept. I like writing it. I actually had, like, a short story that I wrote for it a while ago, like, for like, a horror scenario, which involved I actually made a short film about it for my film class when I was, you know, a film student, that detailed a girl going to revisit her mother after being estranged from her from some time, and turning out that her mother was actually not her mother, but actually a paranormal creature in disguise. And, like, it was like a whole, like, conversation about, like, you know, human relation and, like, supernatural stuff. Like, that was the whole thing. So, you know, I love horror as a concept, but, like, as far as, like, movies go, I don't like horror movies because I don't like how they're made, because I'm not a fan. As a formula, I'm not a fan of it because I don't like jump scares. I'm a very anxious person. I don't like things being suddenly thrust at me with loud noises and lights and sounds. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah,
It's way too much for me. If somebody speaks at a volume above a room tone, I get anxious. Like, that's just me. So, like, I'm not saying that it's wrong, but, you know, it's just how I
That's a Western thing.
Yeah.
For sure. Because I remember watching, like, a documentary where it was actually talking about the difference between Western and Eastern styles and how they handle horror. Because in the Western style, it's always, like, the same. It's, like, the build-up, the fake-out, then the jump scare. Always.
Yeah, you know, it's at that point where you can kind of, like, figure it out by that point.
Yeah. But, like, in you know, the Eastern style horror, it's audio based, and they do that because in a lot of Western horrors and, like, just how our, like, culture is, how our scary stories are, a lot of things happen in the dark, or there's a place that you can find, like, a safe space. But in, like, the Eastern style, they use auditory cues, and it can happen at any point, at any time, at any place, and that's what makes it scary, is because you have no safe space, because you could hear it.
Oh, jeez.
Which I thought was absolutely awesome. And they also don't just, like, subscribe to jump scares as much. That's why a lot of their, like, monsters or ghosts or critters or whatever, they're very slow moving towards you.
To be honest, I feel like
also...
no, because I was gonna be like, to be honest, I feel like this just being me, I feel like jump scares are a cop out.
Oh, absolutely, I agree. You're jumping not for the right reasons.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're not building the slow building of fear. It's just and like that's where the fake outs come in. They jump you for no reason, and then they scare you, and it's just dumb.
Whereas slow burns are, and if I want to sit here and think about a series that Vic and I recently watched that had actually a really good slow burn to it, funny enough, The Grudge had a series on Netflix that was...
No, it's,
The
Ring.
Origins.
Oh, yeah, The Grudge, that's right. Sorry, I get my horror confused sometimes, but...
I actually convinced you to sit and...
No, yeah, we watched, like the first 4 episodes?
Yeah, but, and... I don't know, there was just
we stopped at the 5th.
That so many people were like, no, this is an upsetting episode, and we haven't
bothered
to sit and
Which,
watch
as everybody knows, I'm a bitch when it comes to, like, certain gore.
But you've done pretty good with the series, and it has, and each episode does kind of like build up the slow burn for the horror, and then there's that one thing that happens in the episode.
Which honestly, I think for me, like, you know, when it comes to horror, I'm gonna keep beating this fucking topic, but like the more you know about it, the less scary it is. So I feel like the more we were into this series, the more desensitized I was getting to, like, the actual concept of, like, the ghosts and the stuff as a concept.
But still, besides the ghost and stuff like that, there was always that one thing that happened in an episode that we were like, holy shit, that's horrific.
Well, yeah. Yeah, certain topics.
But that was something that they even said, like, with the series, there was always one thing that happened in each episode that...
Yeah.
Just, like, it crescendoed to that moment.
Honestly, okay, so when it comes to the, Ju-on, I believe is what it's called in the Japanese version. The Japanese, Ju-on. So, essentially I think the one thing that actually scared me the most out of that whole scenario, like, everything that was happening up till, like, where we stopped at, the one part that scared me, like, it wasn't, like, anyone going into the house or, like, encountering spirits or whatnot. Like, yeah, the one woman in the white dress, that was creepy as hell. However, I think the one thing that scared the hell out of me, like, through the entirety of us watching it, was when, what's her name? The one girl who was married to the one son was doing a seance with the mother who was a psychic, and they were like, tell us about what happened, and immediately a hand just, like, kind of... It wasn't supposed to be scary. It was just a hand kind of, like, comes out from the background and points at a map on the table, and that was just, like, fucking horrifying to me. Because it wasn't supposed to be made as a big deal. It just happened. It was like, bam, pointing at a specific point on a map, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? Oh my god.
I think a really important thing in horror that I'm starting to feel a lot of, like, movies are finally understanding is building the sense of dread.
Yes, that's what gets me. I love that stuff.
Yes, like that. I feel like that's like what that slow burn feeling is. The sense of dread. You know something bad's about to happen, but it's not gonna, like, jump it in your face.
Which Hereditary,
which is nice.
Kind of do.
No, Hereditary is such a good movie, though. Like, no joke.
Okay, I gotta talk about Hereditary for a second.
Talk about Hereditary.
We love horror movies.
I remember when you told me how horrifying that was for you.
Yeah, so we go and see horror movies like before times. We would go anytime there was a new horror movie out. Anytime there was a new horror movie out, me and John immediately go to the theater, and we would go and watch horror movies.
I love that y'all do that.
Yeah, it was like our date thing, and then
that's
we'd
cute.
talk about it and stuff. And
Hereditary
was one. But we get to the theater. We're watching Hereditary. Spoiler alert for Hereditary. So this is your warning now. Whatever.
This is your warning if you have not seen the movie.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, John is a big guy when it comes to ratings on movies. If it is rated bad by critics or by the public, he won't really be interested in seeing it. And we kind of always have, like, an up-in-the-air kind of thing when it comes to horror movies, because horror is so subjective to everyone.
Right, like, what scares one person could just be completely bread and butter for someone else, like, yeah.
Right, and if I'm not mistaken, Hereditary got a lot of bad rap because of how it was advertised. Because if you remember the commercials for it, it gave the assumption that, like, oh, this kid's super creepy and, like, they're going to kill everyone or something. It gave the wrong impression of what the movie was actually about.
Which is funny, because I don't remember ever seeing advertisements for Hereditary. So that just might be me.
I don't watch TV very often, but I do remember John, like, showing me the thing on, like, YouTube or something, like, hey, we should go see this or whatever. Because we're like, heck yeah, well, let's go see it, whatever. So, we went and see it, and, you know, you're watching it, you're like, all the beats are happening that you're expecting. And then the one scene happens, which is, like, the pivot for the entire movie.
Right,
and that's where a lot of people walked out. And, again, spoiler warning, and a lot of, like, you know,
content warning. Trigger warning because body stuff.
Body horror, that kind of thing, and just not a fun time, so I'll wait a minute on that one. But so we're in the movie theater. It's not very full anyway, but we were hearing a lot of people, like, leaving.
Really?
Because like, they couldn't handle what was happening, which I don't blame them whatsoever.
Yeah.
But
I know what scene you're talking about.
Yeah. So there's a scene where the girl gets pressured to go to a party with her older brother. The older brother doesn't want to be there. Anyway, the girl goes and she eats something and has, like,
I think it was like peanuts. It was peanuts because she had an allergic reaction to it. Yeah.
Yeah, she was having an allergic reaction to it. She was having trouble breathing. Her brother's like, oh shit, I gotta take her home because I don't have any of, like, the stuff she needs. She can't breathe.
She doesn't have, like, epinephrine or anything like that. So
yeah.
Yeah. So he's driving as fast as he can down this road, and she's trying to get air, rolls down her window, sticks her head out, and she gets decapitated.
Which, in all fairness, I feel like that's a really tame moment, like, compared to the rest of the movie. But
well, the thing with it is, though, it happens, but the way it is shot and the reaction that you see as the brother realizes what happens and his slow drive home, he's just completely in shock. He is numb, and he just goes and lays in his bed, and his mother finds the girl in the car.
Oh my god. Okay, see, yeah.
Yes.
And then, of course, later they go back to where they show her.
Again, you know, full disclosure, I've never seen the movie. I've only watched film analysis, so I only know the events that happen. I don't see the aftermath.
I just remember there was the whole thing where then they go and they show her head the next day, and it's just covered in ants.
Ew!
My thing is that
Content warning.
My behind-the-scenes knowing is that the actress who played the little girl, even though she knew she was only going to be in the movie for a short amount of time, wanted the prosthetic head so freaking bad.
That's fucking...
She's like, I want this.
Okay, but that's cute, though. That's cute, though.
Can I have my...
Can I please have my head? Can I please have my head? That's actually kind of cute, I'm not gonna lie.
So that theory that something's wrong with the girl just gets knocked out completely. And, like, I remember sitting there when that happened, and I remember reaching over and grabbing onto John because, like, I was like, I don't know where this movie's going now. Like, all of my points of reference are
Fear
gone.
of the unknown.
Exactly. And I was like, I'm here for this, let's watch this. And then it shows the gross scene. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe they showed that on screen. I can totally understand why people are leaving. But I think it was a brilliant move.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because many times in horror movies, advertising is what ruins the shock of the horror movie because you know what you're coming in for.
You know the beats of the story, and you can kind of predict, like, what possibly the big twist is. But at, like, the half-minute mark when that scene happens, you're lost.
Right.
You don't know what's happening. And
like, if I went to go see that movie, I'd be like, okay, what's next?
Yeah. It does, as far as, like, story-wise, it does get really bizarre as far as, like, getting into the occult and things like that. But I will say, it's a movie I plan on rewatching because it's one of those ones where if you know what's going on, it's a completely different movie.
Also, like, if anybody knows who has watched that movie, that one fucking scene where... I think it's, like, one of those things where I like it when visual storytelling happens accidentally, because there's that one scene where you don't see it the first time, but if you rewatch it, that's when you notice... Like when like the whole scene where the mother's watching the son in the bedroom and you're like, oh fuck. Like you won't notice unless you intentionally turn up the brightness on your screen and you see her in the fucking corner just like Spider-Maning
up in the ceiling. Yep.
That's disgusting.
That's this.
That makes me go. That does a full body shiver for me. I'm like, oh.
But I was actually watching a guy who does like film reviews on it, and I was like, let's see what he does about Hereditary, because he does nothing but horror movies, and I was like, let's see what he has to say about Hereditary.
I definitely love watching people that review nothing but horror movies. That's how I watch horror movies.
But he made a good point, because like the whole movie Hereditary is about a cult and how this family can't escape it, essentially. And
it's their destiny.
The reason this is a brilliant movie is because you're watching it, you're feeling it from the family's point of view of being watched and being trapped, and there's nothing they can do. And he says if you rewatch it again, knowing everything you know now, you're gonna be watching it as if you are part of the cult watching the family.
Oh my god.
So I'm really excited to rewatch it, just for that, like, kind of revelation, because there are like hints all over the place of the cult marking what's going to happen next.
That's so spooky.
Oh, it's so cool. And speaking of your thing about like the people hiding in the shadows, that's pretty much what all of oh god, what is it? The Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah,
dude,
they did that all over, and the newest one that just happened.
Bly Manor.
Kind of.
Bly Manor.
Yeah, Bly Manor did the same thing.
I love how we were like we
had a lot of emotions.
Honestly, I love how we were like binging it, and we're just like, oh my god the whole time.
I remember just messaging you and be like, this one's gonna do it.
This is the one that's gonna fuck. This one. It's like, this episode's the one that's gonna fuck you up, and I was like, oh no, and then I watched it, and I'm like, you're absolutely correct.
Well, I knew this was gonna bother me, because I think I was watching it with John on the couch, and as soon as the thing happened, should we talk about it, or should we like keep it? It was in October.
It was in October. So, yeah, and I feel like everybody has at least watched Bly Manor. Chat, if you have not watched Bly Manor and you intend on watching Bly Manor and you don't like spoilers, please let us know so that we can avoid talking about it. So, that's a thing. Yes. But, like, I think what was it? You've actually verbally said, oh no, Vic's not going to like this.
Yeah. I was sitting on the couch with John, and I'm just watching this scene, and then this certain, like, character shows up. And I was like, I literally was like, oh no.
You're like, oh no.
I audibly said it.
You're like, oh no.
Honest, when that scene
and I think happened, I immediately texted you too.
When that scene happened, I was watching it, I'm like, yeah, it's not that bad.
And then I was like, behind like 3 pillows, like, no.
Like, this is bad, I hate this.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
I will say one thing.
I did like Bly Manor more than I liked Hill House, but then again, I watched Hill House in the background while Tabitha was binging it.
Yeah, you did.
The entire, real shit, the entire time we were watching Hill House, I was yelling in the distance because I very vividly remember this, because I was in the middle of constructing my Renaissance costume for West, because we were doing the Renaissance Festival in like 2 weeks.
Oh, that's right.
And Tabitha was like binge watching Hill House, she's like, I need to watch this, and I was like, okay, fine. And so, as this was happening, I was literally yelling in the background, like, it's the mother! The mother did it! It's her fault!
No, and my thing is that, well...
She did it! That's just me
watching Hill
projecting,
House,
though.
Perdita deserved it, changed my mind.
Perdita deserved it, changed my mind?
Yeah, I agree with that. Bitch.
Exactly, bitch.
Bitch.
Like, everyone's like, oh no, but Viola... And I'm like, Viola wouldn't be doing what she did.
If it wasn't for Perdita?
If it wasn't for her fucking sister.
Yeah, fuck Perdita.
Yeah, pretty much. But,
fuck that bitch!
We actually rewatched Hill House before we watched Bly Manor.
Mm-hmm. Even though it has nothing to do with the other?
Yeah.
No, we like horror. We wanted to rewatch it anyway, so we were like,
makes sense.
Ambiance. And we liked the actors and like the actresses, so we wanted to
for sure.
And stuff. And we also wanted to catch the things in the background again. And
so the hidden ghosts.
Yeah, the hidden ghosts and stuff. And I gotta tell you, one of the moments as far as horror goes that really like fucked me up to the core was the reveal of the broken neck lady and who she was.
I vividly remember that because that was the one episode I paid attention to.
that was such a brilliant reveal and like transition, and how it was just awesome. And like I really enjoyed like
the vent neck lady.
It made me have a lot of feelings of dread and existentialism about how time works. Yeah, I was sad too, but I really like how like it kind of explained how their theory of how time and memories work, and just how, I guess, raw it was.
I will say for sure, I think my favorite episode, even though I was only watching in the background, but the one I think I paid attention to the most, was the episode that pertained to the entire family being together in the funeral parlor. I think that was the one where I was...
The continuous shot?
Yeah. No, yeah, the continuous shots. Like, that one, like I was not paying attention to Hill House very often.
In the background too, and it was
dude,
like, what the
no, that wasn't, like, for me, that wasn't scary. That was really sad because, like, again, I was only paying attention to, like, bits and pieces. However, it was one of those moments where me, speaking from an author's standpoint, it was one of those things where, which, full disclosure, if I have stopped coloring, that's because I am using hand gestures to talk, because obviously you can all see me.
I understand that.
Right, I swear there's some Italian in me or something. No, I think it's the it's probably the Ukrainian in me. Ukrainians are very known for using hand gestures too. Eastern European, you know, it's a thing.
Yeah.
It's the Eastern European in me. So I think for me, from an author standpoint, it made me very sad because it's one of those things where the one thing that I have picked up on while kind of half listening to Hill House in the background as my wonderful wife was constantly watching it, because I'm a bitch and I can't sit and watch a horror movie like straight, like from start to finish. I have to like hide behind something or not pay attention. It's one of those things where I feel like what was her name, the youngest daughter, she wasn't really being paid attention too much. It was like the one episode where there was like a storm in the house and she disappeared and nobody knew where she was. It just kind of felt like that, because it was like there she was, but nobody was seeing her.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like to me, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it's a real blow to people who have like a mental health problem and they're feeling like they are not being heard.
Exactly, or like, you know, if you live in that kind of like, or in general, or in that family setting where you feel like you're the one sibling that's like completely unheard or like not seen because the parents are so focal on the other ones. Like that that's a thing that like resonates. Me personally, that resonates with me because that's, you know, a family dynamic that just hits at a point.
I feel like each family member had something that someone could relate to, which I think was very smart.
Yes, absolutely.
And
like you have the oldest sibling that's like trying to hold it together for everybody, but it's just an absolute disaster to begin with.
Yeah, and like
valid.
Life's falling apart, but
fucking valid.
Like, trying to rule everyone. Yeah.
As an oldest sibling trying to hold everything together, but their fucking life's falling apart. Valid.
Mm-hmm. And then you've got like the twin to the one with the mental.
Oh my god, the twins made me so sad.
The twin who like that's their best friend. That's their other half, and like they're an addict and blah blah blah. And then you've got
anything that has to do with twins either creeps me out or just makes me very sad. There's no in between.
Mm-hmm. It was just so sad. Like all of it was just so good.
I'm so sorry for that noise.
I distinctly remember like the funeral scene where like they're all around her, like, and the casket, like they're arguing and the casket falls over.
That's the only way that she could be seen. Like she's trying to communicate with them, but nobody can hear her.
And I distinctly remember this one shot that gave me chills where it was up at the funeral thing and like they're all looking at her and the camera pans and she's standing in the background.
Yeah.
And I'm
like
just
that was
oh
sad.
God.
That was so sad to me. I'm like, oh my god, she's trying to tell them, but they can't. She can't connect with them. Like,
Shelby.
Yes.
No, I'm back on the subject of Bly Manor. Fuck Perdita. All my homies hate Perdita.
Fuck Perdita. Perdita's a straight up bitch. She deserved it.
Yeah. Oh, fun fact, did you know that at the end of Hill House, the very last episode where it's like celebrating the twins' recovery and stuff, where he's got the cake and stuff, where it's like 2 years clean or whatever. That whole thing.
His sobriety.
That was supposed to be in the Red Room.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah, like they originally had the signature window in the back.
Oh my god.
And it was because it was supposed it was supposed to be a sad ending. Like it was supposed to they all were supposed to die. Like that was like the whole like big twist to it.
Right.
It was supposed to be a bad ending, or like an ending where it made you question. And when they showed it to test audiences, they were so depressed. They're like, "Can you please not do that?"
And then Blind Manor came out and they went, nah.
Blind Manor came out and they went, you know what, fuck the focus group. We're just gonna do this and make everyone sad. And I'm like, I hate this, thank you.
But the leftover from them, like, taking out the signature, like, Red Room window, like that vertical window, is the color red, and the guy's cake was red.
Oh, no.
I just thought that was really interesting. I like sad endings, or, like, endings that make you question things, so I was into it, but
I know, Lynn.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I do, but I won't say anything.
That's where I will sit here and say The Ritual.
Oh, let's talk about The Ritual. That's a good one.
I never seen The Ritual.
Oh, we can't talk about The Ritual. Lynn's not seen it.
Damn it.
I have not seen The Ritual. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
Actually, no, haven't you? Because I remember we talked about it one time, and you're like, I could have sworn I've seen that, but I don't remember.
No, I have not seen The Ritual. I was actually thinking of a different one. I don't remember the name of it, but I know it wasn't The Ritual because...
let me gently caress my microphone real quick as I talk to you. So you need to watch The Ritual.
I know I do.
It's very good.
Like, because that was one of the ones that was like suggested as being one of like the good horror movies to watch.
Lynn, it's psychological. It's psychological. You have to watch it.
Why are you doing this weird, creepy ASMR on me here?
It's psychological. You have to watch it.
Oh, I love.
You like
Connor.
that stuff? I know. I love Connor.
He looks like a disaster.
Honestly, he really is. He's not even trying his best. He's just there.
Oh, God.
He's just existing.
He's just existing and dealing with the fact that... So, we mentioned we were going to talk about this game, but we have not yet.
Okay, now's probably a good time.
Now's probably a good time. Like, he's... Okay, so, this is Connor. He is my Call of Cthulhu character that I have made. He is an absolute Scottish disaster of a human being.
Stranger.
Listen, Stranger, I completely based off of a shitty Russian accent I did for steampunk, okay?
This is the shitty Scottish.
This is the shitty Scottish version. I mean, technically no, but you know.
Only I know what Connor was based off.
Shut the fuck up, Tabitha. Tabitha K, you will hush right now.
Don't you use my fucking middle name.
Quick, everybody, drop your forbidden middle name in chat. Anyway,
Do you know my middle name?
I don't actually.
I told you once, and you laughed at it because you're like, why?
Oh no! Did you?
Yes.
I'm so sorry that I forgot. What is it?
No, it's Marion.
Mary, that's right.
Because you're just like, that's an old person's name. I'm like, thank you.
No, I think I laughed because I laughed because you said it was Marion, and I was like, that's funny because Tabitha's grandmother's name is Marilyn, and it just felt like
Marilyn.
It coincided in my head, and I was like, that's funny. It's an old person name.
I'm being asked to drop the secrets in chat.
What secrets in chat?
Apparently with who Connor came from.
Oh, I mean, if you want.
He was always a disaster.
Connor is obviously my own take on a okay, because I like to talk about things. Apologies as I go in close for like shading. But no, so Connor is my own take on a Death Note character that only ever appeared in a side story related to the main plot that was from the light novel the LABB murder cases. And so I had a whole thing where I kind of sort of based him off of the Death Note character Beyond Birthday, which was a character that came from the same orphanage that L came from, if anybody's familiar with Death Note lore or anything related to that anime. So he came from the same orphanage, and in that orphanage, it was like a whole like, oh, we're gonna start training people to, what, be like Elle, or like at least like the greatest detective.
Basically, be another great detective. Yeah.
Be like the greatest detective in the world. We're gonna like
fucking weeb.
We're gonna
on chat.
So they were groomed to be
Basically,
detectives?
they were groomed to be detectives.
They were basically, children were being taken and groomed to be detectives. So they were like holding them to like
extremely high stances.
They were trying to hold them to extremely high standards.
Through, like so many different like
which is how that's why I specifically wrote Connor's character, like at least his backstory, to deal with how his brother, like they were both in the same orphanage, and his brother was like the what, how do you say, like top of the class. So basically he was expected to do great things, so they were like putting all this pressure on him, and that's why his brother ended up the way he did. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say it in chat because that's triggering words would be used.
Sad boy hours.
Sad boy hours. His brother did not.
Kayla is losing her shit. She loves this. She read it, but I never did.
Kayla, you fucking read the LABB murder cases? I love you so much right now. Nobody else has read this but me. I am so fucking excited in this moment. You have no idea.
I read it.
I know you read it, but besides you, nobody else has read this. I'm so fucking excited right now. Kayla, do you understand what I'm going through right now? I'm so sorry. This was a very specific thing that I had latched onto from like high school to like community college. This was like my hyperfixation for like 5 fucking years. I'm so fucking excited somebody else understands how I'm feeling. Let me write you my thesis about how I think Elle is an asshole and completely wrong.
She's screaming, "Oh my god, he can't hear me, I can't answer."
No! It's okay, tell me on Saturday. Tell me next Saturday.
Oh my god.
We're gonna talk about this.
There's a Prezi you need to do.
That's my... Okay.
Vic, is this gonna be the topic for next week?
No, I mean, it can be, but however... So,
Very niche things.
Okay, so
we're obsessed with.
So, fun fact. I'm being invited to a PowerPoint party next week, so... Which, I mean, we're still gonna stream, it's fine. But, like from, 6 p.m. to, whenever, I'm gonna be doing a PowerPoint presentation. So I'm now changing my PowerPoint presentation from why broccoli belongs on pizza to why I think Whammy's house... I'm gonna do, a whole fucking presentation based on why I think Beyond Birthday is a justified character. Anyway. Now I have an audience.
Ella's her favorite, you might be losing her.
No! I'm going to defend Beyond Birthday to my fucking death. Don't at me. I love him. Anyways, I love him. So, anyway. Okay, I'm not going to say Elle's an asshole. I will say he is a victim of a very unfortunate environment that was put in place by Whammy himself. So, therefore, both Beyond and Elle are victims in this very toxic environment. There we are. I'm going to do a whole Prezi on this. I'm going to go back to coloring Connor now. Anyway. So, yeah, the whole... I don't know if you watched or read Death Note, Lynn, but, the whole...
No.
Okay. So, basically, the premise doesn't matter at this point.
I know the gist of it with the book and the stuff.
Okay. The premise doesn't matter at this point. However, there's a character that comes out of it that is basically a super detective because he was groomed by this orphanage to be that way. Because they're like, oh, you are obviously a child with a very high IQ. We're going to use you to make a difference in the world. We're not going to give a shit about your agency, so we're just going to... We're going to groom you to be a super detective to help people out, but we don't care about you, so you're just going to be your own whatever. I keep hitting my desk, and I'm so sorry. Because I'm gesturing so aggressively. So, welcome to my TED Talk. I think, honestly, if I had a better TED Talk, it'd probably be that moment where I was, aggressively telling you the plot of Animorphs. And that's
You gave me that TED Talk through text.
I know, it was pretty great. Because you saw, I think, what was it? Was it a TikTok or something?
It was a TikTok.
You sent me a TikTok about it, and I was like, no, I'm going to spend, like, the next hour explaining the plot of Animorphs to you right now.
It was a TikTok where it was, like, the most disturbing things you've ever read in a book, and this person was like, here's 3 things that I read in Animorphs that disturbed me to the core as a child, and I sent it to you.
And then Vic went, let me tell you another 7 things that are disturbing about it.
Yeah.
Lynn learned to not tell me specific things because I will just go on a lecture about them, so...
Remember that one time you just went off for like 20 minutes about how to make a pizza?
I do! It's probably my favorite recipe, thank you.
I greatly appreciate it, thank
you. There was a point in, Yeah, there was a point where, we were building a tavern. I specifically remember that. We were building a whole tavern for people to RP in for our Discord, which, again, if you want to join our Discord, just send us an ask, and we will give you the link. Like, you know, we're not trying to gatekeep or anything like that. So, we were building a tavern, and then, out of nowhere, unprompted, which I think that was, like, the night when we were doing a drinking game, because it was like, anytime we said bro, we had to take a shot. And I was doing picklebacks, so I was like, fuck it, straight whiskey at this point.
Yep.
And so, I just gave, unprompted, an entire, like, recipe for pizza dough. Which I think I've only ever made 3 times since I learned it. I think now's a good time to make pizza. Anyway.
Pizza time, bro.
Pizza time, bro. I love the whole history behind that.
Yes.
We need poor Connor. His life sucks. I'm sorry. Anyway, point is he had a brother in this orphanage and he lost him because of a really toxic environment. It's very sad.
Call of Cthulhu is sad in general, I think.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I definitely enjoyed our game.
It was fun. You guys did great.
It was fun. I was very stressed for Nico the entire time. I was very stressed for him. Like, between everybody, I mean, fuck it, I loved everyone's characters, and I was stressed for every single one of them. I was stressed for Ernest when we went into the attic, because there was a point where, okay, so, Call of Cthulhu was a fun adventure where we were, it was the module where we met Rupert Merriweather. He was dying in a hospital, and he's like, so me and my college buddies did some really bad, we did a 2 a.m. seance, and we regret it.
So,
the
module is called The Edge of Darkness, and that was the beginner module. Like, that was the very first module, like that you could possibly do, with a group. But I was reading it through it, and I read the entire module, everything about it, twice, because I wanted to like get the story down and stuff. But,
honestly, my favorite part about that entire module was when you told me, oh, I read through the module, and some of like the scary bits, I thought they were boring, so I just decided to do my own thing, and I'm like, fantastic, because I was horrified through the whole thing.
Well, the thing with the module itself, it is a beginner module. I want to do something kind of easy, something I could easily work off of and stuff.
So you're saying that there's going to be harder modules?
Oh yeah, there's absolutely harder modules.
So when are we going to do those?
If you guys want to, you can. I'm whatever.
I enjoy our random Call of Cthulhu nights, because that entire, I mean, that Wednesday made my entire week for me, honestly.
But I was reading through the module, and the module is built as if the players had never played an RP before.
Oh, really?
That's just how they're all written, because they're beginner modules, and it's like these so it's very like hand it to you kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Right.
It's very directional and things like that, and like that's just not the kind of RP I wanted to do, because we're all seasoned in role-playing games.
We're all theater nerds.
well, yeah, 10 nodes. But I wanted to kind of give it a little bit more oomph. And, like, the things that you were supposed to do weren't stuff that I really agreed with. I thought it was too easy, or it was too hand-holdy.
I love that.
Which I understand for the module being for someone, or like people who have never played before. I get that. That's fine. I actually did a lot of research online and through Reddit and YouTube videos of people who take the module and then modified it to make it a little easier. Mm-hmm. Well, not easier, but like a little bit more entertaining.
Right,
so that's what I did. But yeah, you guys did great. Like, I honestly didn't think you guys would like it as much as you guys keep telling me, so that's nice.
No, we fucking loved it. I was like excited through the whole thing and or crying, so.
Like after
I don't know how often
game,
I don't know how often you checked the webcams, but like I was like clutching a pillow and like silently crying the whole time.
After the first game, because I know it was going to be a bit slow, because this is a mystery game. This is a game that is not fighting based, because I think the person who had the most HP was like 10 HP. You're not supposed to fight these things. You're supposed to be smart and get rid of them or escape or
wait, hold on.
solve the puzzle or something.
I think I don't remember how much HP I had at the end.
It's very low. Very, 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 very low.
Right.
It's not D&D.
No, of course not.
But, like, I wasn't sure how that was going to translate well, because if I'm going to be completely honest, I wasn't sure if, like, part 2 was even going to happen, because I wasn't sure if anyone was interested in it.
And then we all immediately, just, like, at once, were like, when are we playing again?
Now? Let's do it now.
Let's do it now. We're gonna do Spooky right now. Spooky, now. Doing it.
But yeah, so it's not a combat-based game whatsoever. It's very heavy roleplay.
For sure.
Actions have consequences, sort of.
Like, you know, Ernest, bless you, oh my goodness. Like, Ernest peeking his head into the attic and almost getting his entire head bisected. That was a thing.
Yep. Yeah.
I was stressed the whole fucking time.
That was part of the module. Let me see if let me actually get the module real quick, and I can read, like, verbatim what it says.
Oh, for sure. I love how, like, collectively, like, as we were doing, so as it went, we were given the task of ending a horrible thing that was set upon our reality by our good friend Rupert Merriweather, who was obviously a boomer that made mistakes in his time, so naturally he leaves it to the next generation to fix it for him. So,
how about that?
Here's the thing.
Yeah, bastard.
Okay, boomer. So we had to fix that thing. He was like, yeah, we did a thing in college, and it accidentally set upon a great evil that we do not understand in this farmhouse. Please fix it for me, because I'm dying, and I don't want to own up to my actions. So we go to do that. We go to this farmhouse. Also, we went to a motel first, and that motel had some really creepy shit happening, which was like all 100% improv, and I hate and loved it at the same time.
Yeah, so you guys missed a lot of things that were
we did?
And that like one of them being you needed to you didn't need to do any of this because I squeezed it in sneakily. But
you're so sneaky.
You would have found different things at different times, but I had to put them in other places. But there was going to be a thing with meeting up with Marion's brother at the police station, because he was the police chief that I just made that up, like, because I needed to get Marion involved again and get you guys interested in what happened to him. But so back to, like, the main story of it. Basically, this old guy, Rupert Merriweather, and had a bunch of bros, and they were in a fraternity together, but they had, like, a secret group where they would go to, and they all collected together and bought an old farmhouse out in the middle of nowhere in this, like, bodunk town, and that's where they were going to do, like, their black magic stuff, because they were all super into the occult. And
that's always a great idea.
Yeah. And Marion, which was another member of this, he was super into, like, the languages, and, like, he was really into the occult. He could read it. And he's the one who put up all of the wards around the house. And he's also the one that read from the book and was able to translate it, get the chants and all that stuff. He misread what was in this piece of amber and in the sarcophagus and stuff. He misread it. And that's how they unleashed this entity into this house. But they banned it.
By entity, you mean Jubilex, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's called the Lurker.
My D&D nerd says Jubilex.
Fine, that's fine.
I mean, he's literally eyes and teeth. It's the same thing at this point.
Well, the thing is that, like, the monster is kind of weird, but we'll get to that in a second. But basically, they did the exact same ritual you guys did and tried to banish it, but just like what happened to Nico's character, it got pulled into it and it died. And then another guy got his head, like his neck broken or something like that. So they lost 2 of their members, and then they somehow managed to banish the creature into the attic. And that's where Marion, like, warded it off so it couldn't come out.
And then the weird thing, stuck our head in the attic.
Yeah, that was actually written into the thing. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Like, we were supposed to intentionally go into the attic and someone was gonna die?
Yeah, that was actually an insta-kill.
Holy shit.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. But I wanted to roll for it, just in case.
No, it makes sense. I gotta include Nico's snick. Snick. Blech. There we go.
Okay. Keeper information. The Lurker in the attic. The Lurker in the attic waits soundlessly, listening to the intruders below, judging their intent and gauging their strength. Dwelling in this house for over 40 years, it has learned to observe and wait, and it will use its intelligence and cunning to stay here rather than be banished back from whence it came. Although the monster is careful to make no sound, an investigator may wish to explore the trapdoor in the ceiling.
And then we did!
The ladder from the basement is a good enough shape to use, or a shoulder boost from another investigator could provide the lift necessary
Which is exactly what we did.
Yep. The Lurker waits until an investigator pokes their head up through the opening. Then, with a growling rush, it makes a grab for the target. It is nearly invisible. Even a flashlight beam reveals little more than a swirl of detritus moving towards the shocked observer.
Honestly, I love the fact that you didn't use anything visual. It was, like, invisible, and all we heard was the of it running at us, and I was, like, scared as shit the entire time. I think I loved that the most, was you didn't use visual, it was, we couldn't see it, but we could hear it, and I was like, oh, fuck that shit. Again, keying back to my whole, I'm terrified of the invisible man, fuck that guy.
It says, with a loud swell of detritus moving towards the shocked observer, accompanied by a loud thumping along the boards forming the ceiling. With a successful dodge roll, which was not made, the investigator is able to fall backwards onto the floor below, but in doing so, it loses 1d3 hit points of damage from the fall and impact with the floor below.
Oh my god.
But avoiding the talons of the fiend, which did not happen. After this initial attack, the trapdoor slams shut. A growling, panting is heard from the attic above. Witnesses to these events need to make a sanity roll.
Oh my goodness. I need to send you a picture real quick.
If the dodge roll fails, the investigator suffers 1d8 plus 1d6 points of damage.
Aww.
From the monster's attack, its invisible talons raking and tearing into their skin, and then the poor investigator falls and suffers 1d3 additional points of impact damage. The victim, if surviving, suffers injuries to the head and face, will likely leave permanent scars. However, if the Lurker's attack kills the investigator outright, it indicates that the talons have caught in the investigator's skull. With a scream, the Lurker hauls the dangling corpse, rips out its heart, and throws the carcass back down the opening.
Do you hear that, Shane? Because it was Shane's character that ended up sticking his head into the attic, and he fucking survived by, like, 1 point.
Yeah, it was
one point. Oh, no.
I rolled the damage, and you were 1 point off from being decapitated completely. And your body being hoisted into the attic.
I see Shane having a whole crisis. Oh no! All right, real quick, somebody tell me what Ernest and Augustus's heights are. How tall is Augustus?
Augustus was 5.
5 Lynn, yes.
No.
Okay. You say 5 foot, and I immediately go Lynn.
Are you drawing Nico and Connor?
I am. I'm trying to put Augustus and Ernest in there, but I don't know their heights.
I gotta say, like, I loved like the romance that was happening between Nico and Connor.
I
like,
loved that too. It was
great.
just happening. I was like, oh shit, wait, what's happening now?
5'6".
5'6"? Okay.
Yeah.
So Connor stands at like 6 foot flat. I don't know how tall Nico is, but I just instinctually put him taller than Connor because I know for a fact that Nick is like 100 feet taller than me.
I wish I didn't fuck. That's a lot of yikes. Breathe out my car's window.
But that's why I sent out all of those forms about what people are okay with. But for the most part, like, all of you were completely fine with like horror in that capacity.
Right?
So,
yeah, for sure.
If it's too much for anyone, definitely send me a message. If we decide to do another game, I will tone it back a smidge. But
I mean, yeah,
I'm not using. I don't plan on using any like visual elements like that because no one needs that.
The fact that you were doing everything sound based was like pretty fucking amazing to me.
Fun. I had a lot of fun with it. But yeah, you guys were supposed to go to a police station and you would have found Marion's journal. Like, you would have gotten that, and you would have found like news clippings on what happened to him down in New Orleans, which is funny because that was written into the module and had nothing to do with Nico, so the fact that lined up was perfect.
That was amazing, honestly. Quick, I need to know Ernest's basic character description physically because I want to draw him like right now. And I'm going to draw him with the scars now because that's a whole thing that's going on with him.
I know he has a distinguished mustache. I actually might have Shane's like reference picture that he sent me. So hold on.
Oh, nice. Give me that.
So hold on.
So I'm going to draw Augustus over here.
Here, I'm going to send it to you in Messenger.
Yeah.
So.
I love that Nico has the fucking sawed-off shotgun.
Nico gave no shits.
Nico gave no shits, and Nico is 6 foot. Okay, so him and Connor are like the same height. So I'm just going to say, for just the sake of it, Connor has really bad posture, so he kind of hunches. So
yeah,
that makes sense. So he's 6 foot if he stands straight, but however, he hunches. Almost like a certain character in fucking Death Note. Oh my god.
Alright, I sent you the thing on Facebook.
Oh my god, I love how I'm getting character descriptions like everywhere. He wears classic style bowler in a gray color. Oh, I love that.
The distinguished gentleman.
Fuck that shit. I'm giving him
now too.
No, right? For sure. No, I got to draw Nico, and I'm like, I love that he wears a bowler hat. Like, that just makes everything better for me, honestly.
Oh, you also, guys, you didn't go into the woods.
Fuck the woods, honestly. Well, there was a fucking creepy-ass woman that was, like, that came from the woods. Fuck that bitch.
Well, okay, she was actually a plot point.
I don't care. She scared me.
She was a missing woman, and if you would have investigated the woods like you did the raccoon, you would have found her body out in the woods.
And what good would that have done?
It was supposed to let you know that the creature was leaving the house.
She still would have showed up at our door and been creepy as shit.
Yes. So,
fuck that shit. That would have made it 100 times creepier, and I don't like that.
So, the Lurker's special abilities can animate and control the corpse of something that it has killed.
No, thank you.
And that costs it magic points. Blah, blah, blah. Reanimated corpses live for 3 hours and then fall to the ground or may be destroyed. Animated corpses are not like movie zombies. A headshot will not stop them. Instead, they must be blown or cut to pieces, which Nico did with his shotgun. Or somehow dragged or taken inside the house. So, like, they actually weren't supposed to be able to get into the house because of the wards. They were just supposed to terrorize you from outside. But I didn't agree with this. I thought that was kind of lame. So I allowed them to pass through the barriers. A lot of people were doing that because they didn't feel like that made sense. like the monster could leave through the window in the attic because it didn't have wards in it.
Honestly,
it's very bizarre.
It's honestly Merryweather's fault, and fuck that guy. Connor's still gonna go piss on his grave.
Jesus.
Look, it's his fault that we got pulled into that. I don't know how to draw bowler hats.
It can pass through unwarded material obstructions without effort. Generates odors and sounds to disturb or entice victims. Instead of attacking with its claws, the lurker may shoot acid, which was what was falling from the ceiling.
Ew.
That one time.
Ew. Oh god. Holy shit.
What?
You sent me like 4 paragraphs. I was not prepared.
Yeah, I told you.
I cannot Okay, so full disclosure.
Let them know exactly what
full disclosure, like as I said, Tabitha and I are doing a PowerPoint party next Saturday, and Tabitha is currently working on her PowerPoint project for this party. And
hey Shelby, do you want to know what it is?
Please tell.
She's watched.
Tell the class your subject, please.
I don't know.
So Tabitha is currently working on 4 paragraphs. It is absolutely earnest. So I'm gonna read through all that and get his character description.
Hold on,
anyway,
I'm waiting to see.
No. So Tabitha is currently working on a PowerPoint project that is, and Lynn, this is particularly hilarious for you.
Yes, I get yes. Okay.
It is.
Yes.
Yes. So it is. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it because I'm closer.
I'm ready to see the response.
I'm gonna say it because I'm closer to the mic. Anyway, as I do the whole TikTok hand gesture, you know the one.
Do you want to read what I've titled it?
So Tabitha is working on her PowerPoint project, which is Lords of the Nine Hells from Noddist to Thoughtist.
Yeah.
Take that as you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Tabitha. I'm sorry, Addie's not a Lord of the Nine Hells.
Look, I didn't know what else to do.
He'd be a great
one. For the sake of Grayson, where does number 2 lie? I need to know. For number 2. For number 2.
No.
No, Lord.
Is that why? Is that why?
No, I'm saying for.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying for the sake of, he technically is the second layer of hell, so I call him number 2. But we know why he's called number 2.
Fuck, I wish y'all could hear me right now. I need you to record that PowerPoint.
Oh, I will absolutely record this PowerPoint lecture.
Guys, I'm going to be tripping over my words so bad, because I'm sure people are going to be
No. I'm making a whole TikTok for this.
Oh, no.
When this shit happens, I'm making a whole TikTok.
I wish I could make a PowerPoint, but I wouldn't know what it would be.
Do a PowerPoint anyway. We can have a whole PowerPoint night on the Alistair Discord.
Lord help me.
We should do it. PowerPoint night. Whatever you want. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be any specific. You could do it about mushrooms. You could do it about we could talk about Hereditary all fucking night. Like. We can talk about how fucking
everything.
We can talk about how we can dissect Bly Manor as a series. Like,
Kayla wants you all to know what her presentation is. Yes, tell me.
Kayla, what's your presentation? I need to know. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna read through Ernest's character description as I get his green eyes. Okay. Ooh.
Distinguished gentleman. Oh, you gotta put Albie in there too.
Wait, Albie? The dog?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta have Ernest hold the dog. I didn't want him in immediate danger, so I was just like...
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, we don't want that.
I don't want the dog in immediate danger. He's gonna think about Albie.
There you go. Albie, good boy.
There you go. Albie's a good boy. Okay, he has the appearance of a nautical captain. I love that. Well-groomed head of hair and neatly trimmed his beard and mustache into the Verdi style of beard. Oh no. I have to Google things, because I don't know what that means. Because it's like the 1920s, so I'm just gonna go with like what I assume is like the standard of hairstyle. So I'm gonna work with it.
Mm.
Anyway, so our characters ended up being wanted criminals accidentally. Because our good friend Nico, who is a bootlegger from Louisiana, threatened a man with a shotgun in a library, which was, valid.
Another thing about like the library and stuff. You guys aren't supposed, like, according to the like the actual module, you guys aren't supposed to have the book. The mysterious whatever that's called. I forgot what the book was called.
Mysterium or something?
Dave Baramus Mysterious. You guys aren't supposed to have that because you can't read it. What it is, a lot of the stuff that's in this module are plot hooks for other modules, so they do nothing for the actual game itself.
Nice.
Yeah. So the sarcophagus is one of them. That's a plot hook to another module.
I'm so sorry. I keep hitting my mic.
You're fine. The book is a plot hook to another module that you weren't supposed to get. I was like, according to the module, it's just something you're not supposed to have. Ever. But a lot of people were just like, I just gave my players the book because that's stupid. Like,
right? No, that's valid. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I followed suit because I agreed with that. What else were there? Oh, the guy in the basement.
Jake? Good old Jake? Jake from State Farm?
Jake from State Farm. He was in the basement. There was a bunch of things that you guys had to do with him. You could have questioned him, you could have killed him, or if he would have also snuck out.
Honestly, I feel like Nico was going to kill him at one point, and I would have let him.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with a man with, 1, a snake on his shoulders, and 2, a shotgun.
Fair. Also, the powders that you guys found. The white powder that you guys found, like the silver powder that like kept sticking to everything.
Yeah, the talcum-esque powder.
That is a powder that none of you guys were ever going to know, no matter what, because it's also a plot hook for something else.
It was cocaine.
It was mentioned in diary entries that I omitted from this module because it was too handholdy. It gave way too much away. So I just omitted it, but I just wanted to see what you guys would do with the powder anyway, and you did fine. But the powder is actually something that you can throw onto an invisible creature and it sticks to it, and you can see their form.
What?
That's why, like, when Nico was playing with it, I made a point to say it is sticking to you and it's like spreading very easily. Like, you guys gotta be smart. But it's called the powder Abenkazi. It's actually magic. That was your first magic item that you have now.
Oh shit, it's magic? Oh fuck.
Yep, it's magic. So.
Okay. Oh, I like this. Okay, so reading through chat, so it turns out one of the PowerPoint topics that is going to happen is Dungeons and Dragons through an academic folklore lens.
Nice.
I like that.
Fucking Jake that took a table leg to Nico's face. Oh, Nico used it to draw the circles.
You know what's a really interesting concept to me, and it's like completely off topic for tonight, but like the concept of like running a Dungeons and Dragons game, but like completely through actual historical medieval rules.
Excuse me, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yes.
With zero question, and be like, you have a full suit of armor on, you can't carry shit. Do you have a squire with you? You have to protect them now, because they're the ones carrying your shit.
I really like that.
Horses that you just left there.
I really like that idea, though.
I think that'd be fun.
That's a really fucking cool idea. Also, I'm sorry, Tab. I'm just drawing Nico how I assume he'd look. Not Nico. Excuse me. Augustus. My words are. Names are like clashing in my head right now, and I apologize. I'm drawing Augustus how I just assume
I'm just blaming Russians.
I dropped a whole bowl of popcorn on the floor.
Good job,
Yeah, that's
A+.
fine. That works.
Whoops! Hey, Kat, you're a fucking garbage eater. Why don't you go get that? I joke, but he's like... Honestly... I shit-talk this cat a lot. However, he does things that completely prove my point.
There you go.
Yes. Anyway, as I draw our Call of Cthulhu group, I really love... Can I just talk about how I really love how I've made Nico look in just a sketch? Because, yes.
I love it.
I love Augustus.
I feel like he'd have a broken nose.
Oh, no, he definitely does. I just haven't drawn it yet, but... There you go.
Yep. There it is.
There it is. I love I think I love the whole interaction where it's just like, oh, Nico, you've broken your nose, and it's like, again?
But
I'm gonna give Augustus the Cole pose of holding his bag like he's an old lady at a bus stop, because I feel like that's a consistent thing.
Correct. I love that. Thank you.
Actually, once I finish this picture, I think I'm just gonna line this. I'm not gonna color it. But I really want to draw Cole like the old lady at a bus stop, because that's an image that has been sticking in my head since yesterday. The delayed look of wait from Tabitha.
So Vic, there's in this module there's a thing called conclusion, and it can tell you all the possible things that could happen depending on what you guys do.
Yes.
So you guys could have banished the creature, which you guys did. You completed that, so hooray. You could also fail to banish the creature and just leave. Like, completely. Like, you guys could have just left, and, like, you guys would have had to take sanity points, knowing that the creature was still lurking for you, and it would be hunting you.
Oh my god, fuck that shit.
Yeah, so, yep, have fun with that. But some of the loose ends thing, it's like, do the investigators leave the area without reporting any of the deaths?
No,
That's exactly what you guys did.
I know, right? We absolutely just left without fucking doing that.
Yeah, but it thinks of everything. It's like, so that's why, like, the next, like, as you guys were leaving, there were reports of, like, oh, hey, looks like this homeless person was blasted to pieces with a shotgun. Hey,
whoopsies.
This guy was also threatened with a shotgun. Huh. Also, we found the missing woman's body with a hole in her chest.
Oh, we never found her. We never found that bitch.
She was attacking you guys. She was the lady who was standing on the front porch.
Yeah, no, I didn't like her. Therefore, she was not allowed in. Like, okay, listen. So, you including that whole bit with a woman in like a white-ish dress, just kind of like standing on someone's porch with her head against with her forehead against somebody's, fucking door. As a Texan, that triggered me. No, like dead serious.
Sorry.
As a Texan, that triggered me because we have a whole story about a woman that does that. There's a whole like ghost story about it, and it's fucking horrifying.
I made that up on the spot, and I actually took a lot of that from the movie Hereditary, because there's like a scene where like the mom, I think, is like up on the ceiling and she's like slamming her head against the roof of the ceiling.
Fucking no, thank you.
And that's where I got that from. She also saws her own head off, so whatever.
I witnessed that.
But that's the only reason I did that, because I need to bring her into like your all's like vision and stuff like that. So, but that's why you guys are having a bad time.
Speaking of horror, horror based on like actual like folklore and legend. In Texas, we have this whole thing. I hate talking about it this late at night, but we have a whole ghost story pertaining to a woman that drowned her children and constantly like wanders around through like areas that have bodies of water, and she's like a whole like ghost story, and it's fucking horrifying.
I actually found a TikTok of one of those.
What?
I was gonna send it to you. That I'm like, nope, not gonna do that.
Please don't.
I won't.
That honestly would have scared the shit out of me, and I'd be like crying to you.
No, I wouldn't do that to you.
I know. I appreciate it.
But some more of the loose
that
end
sounds
stuff is, did the investigators benefit from Rupert Merriweather's will? Because you guys technically own the house.
Thanks, I don't fucking want it, dude!
Well, the whole thing with that was because part of like what was in the sarcophagus was the key and the will to the house. So an option you could have banished the house, cleansed everything, let the cops know what was going on and stuff, and some people apparently use that house as like a base of operation.
Oh no.
So. Oh, don't read chat, Nick.
No!
I tried to tell you!
No! I mean, technically, I think I was told this once, but fuck that shit.
But, also, fuck that house is written on chat, so I get that.
Yeah, fuck that house! I don't want fucking Rupert's bullshit house.
Let's see.
As I draw an adorable Augustus.
Another thing is who or what murdered Marion Allen in New Orleans. So that's something you guys can look into.
I mean, we're on the run. We can do whatever we want at this point.
Also, like the very end of the thing that says loose ends, it says, "What about the investigators' day jobs? They've missed several days of work and need a cover story for their bosses."
One of them, I think, is an anthropology student. The other one, I think, works with the college. The other one is a bootlegger, and the other one is is a PI. So I think we're fine.
Y'all solid.
We're pretty solid.
Yeah, it was fun. You guys all did great.
I'm sorry, but I feel compelled to put Augustus in a sweater vest.
I feel like he'd be in a sweater vest. Yeah.
He'd absolutely be in a sweater vest. You can't change my mind on this. And his little fucking...
Poor Augustus.
No, poor Augustus. His little briefcase.
Hi.
He's like, this is happening.
But yeah, I wasn't expecting you all to like it as much as you guys did, or
no,
you're saying you did.
I absolutely loved every second of it, even though I'm an absolute bitch when it comes to scary situations.
Yeah. That was fun.
Thank you for agreeing. There he is. There's an Augustus.
Oh, wait. Me.
Oh.
He tries his best.
He certainly tried. I love how there was a whole channeling of Cole as a person in it.
Yeah,
What I was trying to avoid doing.
What?
My favorite scene in that whole thing was like when Augustus was like, "Do you need me to stitch your face?" And then Connor's like, "I know arts and crafts. I could do it."
I loved that whole scenario because we're like, oh shit, Ernest is dying. He's bleeding out. How do we do this? And fucking Connor, who has absolutely no fucking credentials in anything. I know arts and crafts. I maybe embroidered one quilt. I can do this.
I got this. I like how Nico's just like, yeah, whatever, and he just walks over and like grabs the dude's face and just starts doing it.
As
like,
a man who's done illegal boxing, what up?
Nico's great.
I love Nico. Nico was such a good character. I love him. Everybody was so fantastic.
It was fun. It was a good time. I loved everyone.
Everybody was amazing. Also, like, props to fucking Nico and Ernest for, like, sleeping in the car for one night and then getting spooked and running into the motel like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys liked that. That was fun.
That was
a scenario to do. I wanted to end on a spooky note, so I'm glad you guys stuck around at least to that.
No, that was great. I loved that so much. Oh no, did I just accidentally make Nico the himbo of the group? Hold on.
Yep. Yes, you did.
Oh shit.
Just accept it.
Oh
accept
no.
It. It's fine. Nope, it's happening.
It's happening.
I love it, thank you. And he has a snake.
Yeah, he has a little snake.
So technically the module after this one is called The Dead Man Stomp.
Whoop.
And it's technically set in Chicago or Harlem. Sorry, it's set in Harlem.
And Harlem,
but,
okay. Sorry,
but,
Tab. Sorry,
that
Tab.
could easily be switched to New Orleans.
I mean, since we have a character that's tied to New Orleans, it totally works.
Mm-hmm. It just says any major city, but it's written as if it is done in Harlem, New York.
Oh wait, hold on.
But,
I gotta make that a sawed off. My bad.
Let me see if I can find the. Let me see if I can find the thing to it. I'll have to read through it still.
No, for sure. If we want to, oh man, that's some shitty ass sketching, but fuck it. He wears suspenders. That's what I was told. Many apologies. I am not well coordinated right now.
Yeah, this module is about Leroy Turner is a jazz man. He has a broken heart, a drinking problem, and a curse.
Yeah, join the club, buddy.
Yep.
You ain't fucking special.
Like I said, I'll have to read through it because this one actually gives a disclaimer.
Oh no, what's the oh no. I feel like I know what the disclaimer is.
If you guys want to do it, I'll like disclose it to you, but I would personally omit a lot of it out.
Considering it's like, if we're gonna do it in New Orleans, I feel like I know what the disclaimer is.
Well, it's originally set in Harlem.
Yeah.
But I would change it to New Orleans to fit like the narrative.
So I feel like I know what the disclaimer is for, and I'm like, oh no.
Mm-hmm. I probably wouldn't do it, but I'm gonna send you guys on our chat in the general like what the main picture is because it looks actually kind of cool.
I love how Connor's hair is just like extreme floof.
Disaster. I wonder if
he's absolutely disaster. I mean, hey, if you want to ask Jesus to play, let's do it.
He seemed like he was interested in it, and I'd love to see him in a horror scenario and like how he would.
He probably would love every fucking minute of it. We'd probably have to do it on like a night where he's not like streaming though.
Yeah.
Which I think like the last 2 times we played, it's been on a Wednesday night, which he's DMing like the Harry Potter game, so.
Stop being so busy.
I know, stop being so cool, man. Like, and just DMing like a million games at once. You're so fucking awesome. Oh man. Okay. Let me do Ernest. I'm like so nervous to do Ernest because he has such like a really detailed character description, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh, don't forget his like face scars too.
Oh, yeah, I gotta do his face scars.
Those will be sweet.
It's like, I love it when people give me like super detailed character description when I'm drawing a character, but then I'm like, that just like makes me more afraid to fuck it up.
Aw.
I'm like, oh no, I don't want to screw this up.
There, I posted the picture from the module. I think that's kind of neat. I like the artwork. Boop, boop, boop.
I feel like Augustus is the only one that's like actually seeing some shit, and everyone's just like, oh, what?
Excuse me.
He's like, guys, there's a eldritch horror before us, and everyone's like, what?
Yeah, so the whole thing with this like creature is that it's invisible, and in a last ditch attempt to persuade you, it was to like try to persuade you using the characters you gave me as like someone significant from your past.
Yeah, I hated every second of it, thanks.
But I thought that was funny. That's why Augustus was great.
I was so stressed when you started mentioning his dog.
Mm.
Oh, that's what
I'll
he means by that beard style. Okay. Now I gotta draw a beard. Hold on. I'm gonna figure this out.
Albie was good.
He was a good boy.
Boy.
I love how like all of us were like some level of like trauma, and then For Ernest, it was one, his dog, and then for Augustus, it was apparently Connor, but like an idealized version.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I really made an impression on you. Huh?
Given something to work with, I worked with it the best I could. Okay.
So he really made an impression on you, hey?
Shut up. It's funny in the sense that because it was one of those things where it was like when it came to like creating August, and then the whole thing of like, you know,
Augie.
Yeah, it's like, oh well, there was someone you really like, you know.
I love how you decided it was Connor.
But at the same time, it was like, this person also screwed you over in the past. I'm like, Connor.
Again.
That son of a bitch.
I love how you just assumed it was Connor. I'm like, yeah.
It's probably gonna be Connor, if anybody.
I mean, that's pretty fucking accurate.
Yep.
He's an absolute disaster of a human being.
I need to know what idealized Connor looks like now.
Probably showered.
You know who can I say something that might be controversial?
Oh no. Sure.
Can I? Okay, I'm looking at Connor. You know who he looks like?
Spike Spiegel.
Yes. Like.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Scarily, like, similar. I'm just like, wait.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I just love the slightly muffled shut-ups coming from TED. You know.
God damn, I am like losing my sense of drawing like the later we go.
I want to know if the squad is still here in like chat and stuff. If we decide to do this again, would you want to play the same characters, or would you like to make new ones now that you know how to play the game?
No, I absolutely am keeping Connor as a character. He's perfect for Call of Cthulhu. And you know exactly why.
Connor's like Diet Spike Spiegel. I love it.
Diet Spike.
Thank you. He is great value Spike Spiegel.
Dollar General Spike Spiegel.
Dollar General, not even Dollar General. Fucking Dollar Tree.
Oh my god, 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven Spike Spiegel. Thank you. Like, 7-Eleven.
He could be like just based off of his hair, his sideburns, and his cleft chin, he could be a Tatterick.
I mean,
like a disasterick.
So basically just a standard Tatterick then. You didn't say no.
He's got to be somewhere.
I'm like really into Nico, honestly, like how he looks. I'm like, damn, all right. I love his snake baby too, and the really shitty sawed off that I gave him because I can't draw guns to save my life. But I really love. I really love. One, I love Ernest's beard because I'm proud that I made that off of a quick Google search. Two, I love Augustus's just looking like, you know, he's seen some shit.
Mm-hmm. That's the face I imagine Cole made when Addie said chipmunks were cute.
I mean...
And it pops back up again today.
Hold on, I mean, we're like kind of a little over time, but that's okay because I kind of want to quickly draw Cole as a... No, I'm drawing Cole. I've decided.
Let me save this though, because I think we should come back to this and like draw it proper.
No, for sure. I am like probably 3 glasses into my dirty Cosmos, so I apologize for the shitty line art. Full disclosure, I started this stream with a glass of vodka cranberry juice, and it was like 90% vodka. And I was like 3/3 of the way through it by the time we started, so many apologies. That's probably why I'm so enthusiastic tonight.
Love it.
Alright, let me...
Yeah, I saved it on my end.
Boop. Alright, let me... Really quick, I just want to draw Cole, because I really love the image of him sitting on a fucking tree stump like he's at a bus stop. Like some old lady. Or was like a log or something. Watch, I'm gonna draw this really quick, and it's gonna be the thumbnail for next week's episode. Out of everything that happened in that episode, I love the image of Cole just sitting on a tree stump like he's at a bus stop.
Aw. Cole, you precious thing.
I mean, he's so precious. I mean, God, he's like, what, 26?
Oh, wow, you actually got his age right.
I did. Thank you. You're welcome.
Got his age right.
Here's his non-bag of holding.
Because he's that cheap...
He's a college kid, I understand.
That doesn't...
As somebody who was once a former college student, I fucking understand.
Shortbeard says Ernest may never want to investigate anything again. Bro.
Oh shit, I forgot his scars. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's like, bro, like, I completely understand.
If Ernest just wants to stay with his dog, that's fucking valid, honestly.
Yeah, he says, I like Ernest, but part of me wants Nico to help him set up in New Orleans so he can just live in relative peace with his boy.
Oh, Albie.
I don't blame Ernest whatsoever, and he could come back as like an NPC.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Now I'm excited. Now I'm excited for whatever character Shane comes with next. Cole looking like. When did this get here?
I put it there.
Oh my god. I just turned around and suddenly there's a bottle of water sitting on my computer and I'm like, wait.
Excuse me.
Excuse me? Dis, you're not allowed to tell me when I'm supposed to stay hydrated. You of all people. I see what you're doing, Lynn.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna wait for... I'm gonna wait for Twitch to catch up because Tabitha's watching on Twitch and I can't wait to see her response.
I feel like you just over on the corner here, you need to put like the Rakshas's like face.
That's not what's going in the corner, but okay. What? Can I help you? Ruru.
No, I'm gonna say just like a play off of the...
This cat is doing the most and I love him.
No, I was gonna say like, yeah, no, do a play off of do a play off of the My Neighbor Totoro bus stop thing.
Oh god.
My neighbor Rakshasa.
Guys, I have to work at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Hold on, I need to make him look a little more traumatized. I love how you're saying nothing the second you're watching this.
I just looked down.
And? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Why does he look like his dad?
Why does he look like his dad?
What the look?
Rude! He looks nothing like his dad. If we ever run into Addie's dad, I will lose my mind.
I love Addie's dad so much.
I love him too, but I'm like, I'm not mentally prepared for this asshole. Which realistically, I never am.
He's fun.
And I've written him into a scene in the comic, and I'm like, I'm never ready for you. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna figure out how horns work in a second. No.
There it is.
No.
You like that one?
I'll stick with that one. I love tieflings, but I hate drawing horns.
You know what? If I were to make a PowerPoint presentation, I think it would be like literally just me not shutting up about Addie's druid culture.
Yes.
So we're doing a PowerPoint night on the Alistair Discord when? Because I want to
be interesting to anybody, though. It's interesting to me. Just
it's interesting to me.
What? I don't think anybody would be interested in, like, you know, my rating of the Lords of the Nine.
No. So here's how PowerPoint night works. It doesn't matter who is interested. If you're doing a PowerPoint topic, you're doing a PowerPoint topic on whatever you want. And if you want to do it on Addie's Druid culture, do it. Because I will fucking listen. It's not about what you think is going to interest people. It's about you're going to hold an audience hostage until you're finished with this topic.
Exactly. That's the point.
That is the whole point of it.
This is the rise and fall of Irian.
God, yes.
How Irian Sykes went from...
Like, Irian Sykes is the oldest son of Irian Sykes, so technically he's a junior.
Excuse me, that is Irian Stagheim Senior, thank you. We've discussed this.
Like, literally, someone made a PowerPoint presentation of the Ice Age baby should have died. Here's why.
I want to see that presentation, thank you. Because I agree.
People in my life described as condiments, sauces, and salad dressings.
If Irian had to be a salad dressing, what kind would he be?
He would be blue cheese. You either really like him or you really hate it.
I really hate it, thanks.
I like it. Like
I don't like blue cheese. I don't like blue cheese.
He's smooth, a little tangy, and
oh no, that makes so much sense. What? Tab, you love blue cheese.
Oh, God damn
Actually,
it.
I think Addie would be blue cheese, probably.
Yeah, he would be blue cheese.
Tabitha loves blue cheese.
Well, blue cheese is also because he will actually sit and talk with blue cheese.
I love that Addie is capable of talking with blue cheese as a spores druid.
I asked Jesus, and he allowed it in game, so it's a thing. He talks
canon.
to cheese.
Marilyn Monroe, accident or murder? I'm just looking at
on chat or
no, just different.
I love that Cole looks like a very stressed out college student right here.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I would ever make a PowerPoint on, I guess.
Do it.
Because I know so much knowledge on it.
Because, I think you could do that. You could also do an entire PowerPoint presentation on medieval weaponry.
Hey Vic, I like this.
I did this last Saturday.
No, I know you did. No, you did. Technically, we were talking about armor.
I like this work.
Works cited. I already knew about this, so I didn't cite anything. Here's a picture of Danny DeVito. That's just Lynn talking about medieval stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I already knew everything, so here, have this picture of Danny DeVito. Lynn, I think you can do an entire PowerPoint presentation on sword breakers alone.
Oh god, I love sword breakers.
It's a very good topic.
You know what? That should be a D&D class.
A sword, like somebody that's proficient in sword breakers?
Yes.
No, I'm for it. Like honestly,
like a full defense fighter or like a defense rogue.
Like full disclosure, if like as a DM, I don't, you know, people can DM however they want, but as a DM, I would treat sword breakers as the same as like using a shield. You would get that +2 to your AC. But that's just me, because it essentially works the same way.
That would be a cool like alternative to a shield.
No, yeah, for sure. I love Addie just in the corner.
Yeah.
He's just like, so, what you doing?
I feel like I need to make a romance novel.
A romance?
A telenovela, like...
Do it.
Thing of...
Nothing's stopping you. You can do it.
I have hands.
You have hands. You have the means to do it. I love Cole. I remember having this conversation with Tabitha on, like, the drive home from work today, and I was like, you know, I think Cole is the most selfless person in this entire party, and I love him for it.
Don't make me cry.
I will absolutely make you cry. He has joined this party and has like done nothing but think of the party's best interests and not himself. He's such a good cleric. I can't.
I feel so bad for Addie yelling at.
I mean, like the whole conversation on consent over spells was a really important talk to have.
Yeah, that was something he needed to hear.
Grayson got in trouble with his OG group because of something like that. We would invade people's minds.
I mean, yeah,
and then he got punched in the face by the half.
I mean, yeah. I feel like if he invaded somebody's mind without asking, he would definitely get punched in the face.
Yeah.
And, I mean, in all fairness, I think depending on the person, he would not mind.
Cole is baby.
Cole is baby.
Written. I mean, he's the baby.
Can I talk about how I love half-elf ears? Because they're so stumpy.
I love Addie's stumpy ears.
His little stumpy ears. They're so awkward. They're cute.
I was actually thinking about Addie's backstory today.
Were you?
This morning. Yeah, because I was like, man, if this ever gets brought up, I need to figure out like how he feels about it and how he would describe what happened.
Ooh.
Or like what happened in general.
I'm excited to discover more about Addie as a character in our game. I just love how he's just a random wild man that showed up and we're like, all right, we're adopting you into the party.
As of right now, he's just following the group to try to figure out what's going on.
And I think it's great, especially since West is kind of going through a weird kind of second puberty at the moment.
Yeah, Addie's picking up on that for sure. Obviously, he might be a reason he's sticking around.
Valid. I'm calling it special second puberty for my own personal reasons. So I need to self-project somewhere.
I like that West was helping last session.
I mean, yeah, he's... The thing that I've always written about West is, like, he's always willing to help. Like, that's his one character trait that I've always, like, been really adamant about ever since session 1. When the DM asked, hey, what's West's plot hook? And I'm like, oh, well, West is a character that no matter what, if he sees somebody that needs help, he's always willing to help. Like, he needs to. Like, that's just his thing to do.
Alistair is.
Yeah, oh. Like, he's the person that will always put his needs second, and he'll put somebody else first. Like, that's just how he is.
Do you think that's, like, why I was drawn to West, and why I messaged you, hey, can I draw your character?
Maybe. Oh, God, I don't know. I have no idea.
Laughing at this.
What?
Because it reminded me of Alice.
Oh. I looked back down and saw the picture.
I think that's like, I don't know. I really like that. The fact that West and Alistair have like been so like kind of kindred in spirit, and we didn't even realize it.
And now look at
them. They're in a webcomic together. This is so great. Oh, I'm so happy. I remember
asking you, like, hey, do you want to bring West into the comic?
I was, oh my God, I was so nervous because I was like, are you sure about that?
And now look.
And now look at him. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't think I'm ever going to forget like the day you asked me to help with the comic, because I'm like, I can't. Don't make me cry about this.
I just remember lamenting to you about my old writer. And
no, I know.
Like, hey, I write stuff.
I remember saying that like super like, I didn't want to seem too like, I don't know what's the word to use, but I didn't want to seem too like enthusiastic about it. I was just like, hey, I like to write fantasy stuff. Like, you know, if you ever need help, I'm totally down to like help you like write this thing out. And I just assumed you were gonna ask me for like notes here and there, but then you're like, hey, you want to be a writer? And I was like, what?
Hey, do you want to put West into...
What? Oh, God.
Also, let me pay you money.
Yeah, that's the part that still has me confused.
Shut up and take the money.
Okay. Okay, it's like almost 2 a.m. for you. We need to stop this at some point.
No.
We gotta. People need to go to bed. We can't hold them hostage forever. I mean, maybe one day we'll have a whole like 24-hour episode where we just talk about stupid shit.
Yo, we could probably do that and like not stop.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Oh my God, so many alcoholic beverages are going to be involved for that one.
I just want to say, like, to people who watch us like every Saturday, this is just how me and Vic talk
all the time.
On like this is just how one of our normal conversations.
All the time.
Enthusiasm and all.
We're so enthusiastic for everything we do. Okay. Oh, I just saw the picture now. Hello, that is a rock on a zombie hand. What's up? Also, like, full disclosure, like, going back into the, because the image that you just shared for the Call of Cthulhu thing, even though that was, like, probably, like, an hour ago. Mm-hmm. Full disclosure, going back into the horror theme, one story that, I guess, unintentionally as a horror story, that always scared me was the Pied Piper. And yes,
the original story of it, yeah.
Yeah, and yes, the Magnus Archives episode completely reinstilled that fear, thank you.
God, I love the Magnus Archives.
God, that's
where Grayson's voice, like, his first voice canon came from.
I realized that the second I heard Jonathan, I was like, oh no, it's Grayson.
Is that, like, more so now just because Grayson has developed since I started watching Magnus Archives. He's much more of a Tabin. He's much more of a Tabin.
Oh, for sure. No, actually, you want to hear something really funny? Ever since, because like I've kind of picked up like every time Tabitha tries to do a Cole voice, like whenever Tabitha gets like really into like Cole as a character, like I'll hear like the accent come out. Jonathan kind of makes me think of Cole, like just the dryness. Like
I don't have a voice canon for Addie at all.
In my head, like you don't have to subscribe to this, but in my head, I feel like even though. Like, you just kind of, like, do Addie in your own way. And I know for a fact that Common is a second language. For me, in my head, Addie has a very Nordic accent. He's very kind of, like... He kind of has, like, a Finnish accent in my head.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Like his whole culture is based off of, like, the Nords.
Oh, for sure.
General.
For sure.
So, that I could totally see that.
Yeah.
So, I just don't know how to do like a Nordic, Swedish, Finnish, whatever accent.
That makes sense. I can only do like maybe 3 accents, so I understand.
I would say like when he speaks Druidic, he probably has the accent, but when he's speaking Common, he has a bit more of like a kind of a Grayson accent, a little bit, just because I want to say that's how he learned Common was from someone who spoke like that.
No, it makes sense because like I have talked to a few. I have a few mutuals on Twitter that are either from like Germany or from like those regions, and whenever I hear them on voice chat, their accents are actually very English, and I was like, that's surprising to me, honestly.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
That's how they learned English.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing, honestly. Ooh, Shane just said he can teach you.
Yes. I don't have like a straight story of how Addie learned Common, other than like he picked it up as he was doing his rites and would go into towns.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I like the fact that he's more fluent in Elvish than he is in Common.
Yeah.
I know why. Anyway.
Just Irian in the trees speaking to him in Elvish.
Son, I love you! Please notice me! Tell your mom I love her too! I love her so much!
That Irian story breaks my heart.
I love Arian. Honestly, yeah, his story breaks my heart, but I always love imagining him as that guy that's like trying to hold the boombox out above under the girl's window, like, Lena, take me back, I love you.
Meanwhile, like, you know, Lena's in a culture that doesn't have that kind of like relationship.
Ew,
in
men.
their culture. It's just like, what are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing? And then sends a bear to maul him.
Yes. Correct.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, now we're getting stupid. We should end this at some point. We should probably end this. So yeah, hey guys, thank you for sitting with us through this episode. As always, we are passionate about things we love to talk about and do, and, you know, drawing along the way as we talk about these things. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us and giving us your input and conversation pieces to talk about. If you want to continue said talks with us, as always, as we mentioned several times before, you can always shoot me or Lynn a direct message. If you're not a part of our Discord, just let us know. We can invite you in and be an honorary bro, because that's always fun to do. As always, check out our friends at Talon and Claw below. We've got all the links. You can check out our Patreon if you want to support us. You don't have to, of course. Which we just appreciate your presence as a whole. Check out Alistair as we are kind of sifting through a wonky schedule as we're trying to get back on our feet because the holidays are a weird time, and also because we're living in weird times right now. Mm-hmm. We appreciate you all for getting through day to day with us. We love you all. And we will see you in the next episode. We don't know what we're going to talk about, but if you have any ideas, feel free to let us know and give us suggestions.
We should just do a PowerPoint one.
Should we just do like an entire night of PowerPoints?
Yeah.
I don't even know how to begin that.
We don't even have to, like, maybe not like next week, but like at some point we should just do like a PowerPoint one. We'll get like
for sure
a couple people on here and just be like, hey, here you go, and like stream PowerPoint instead of doing a draw pile.
I'm gonna figure out how to make that work, and that's gonna be fantastic. Let's do it.
I think it should be. I will say, if we get some of the people from DNC to join, we can do PowerPoints relating to the games we play.
I really like that idea. I need to send a DM to Jesus right now. I really do like that. That'll be fun, especially because the holidays are coming up, so that makes
or even better, present your PowerPoint about a DNC game that you play in as your character.
First of all, I can't even do that because I don't think West would understand how a computer works. He would just break it. So he would just break it. I mean, okay, so PowerPoint is Grayson.
Yes.
So, oh my god, is it so stupid that I imagine that Grayson's PowerPoint is about reasons why my husband is 100% correct in everything he does?
Yes.
Or reason why I think
Grayson's PowerPoint would be boots ranked by my husband.
I so look forward to that PowerPoint because I have seen some boots on the internet. Yes,
Why
absolutely.
my children will be the death of me.
Why my children will be
a PowerPoint presentation.
As a singular bard who is definitely grappling with the idea that maybe his presence in this scenario caused his father's death. How dare you?
Sorry, we'll do it this
Phoebus is going through a whole crisis about how he feels like everything that has happened in his group that he is responsible for caused his father to fall into hell. How dare you?
Grace, I'll redo it. Grayson's PowerPoint is Rototadric is a bitch.
That's just Tavin's PowerPoint.
Tavin's PowerPoint would be much. How to win over your bodyguard.
How to win over your bodyguard in 4 easy steps. With a few...
The bend and snap.
The bend and snap for one. There is the
That's a Grayson move, let's be real.
Grayson, son, I believe the bend and snap is a more crude method. However, if you want to try to, I'm trying to think of the words. Tavin's more eloquent than me. Anyway, if you want to try to be flirtatious with your bodyguard through the means of using a book as your body language, or a handkerchief.
Grayson's asleep. He's just like, it's fine.
I'll just extend my boot and hope for the best.
Extend the boot, and then the husband will come.
Step 1, extend boot. Step 2, be an accessory to a Lord of Hell.
Done. See, we're getting stupid again. We gotta close.
We gotta close out of here. Hey, Cole, do you want to learn how to seduce a band through book language? I'm just getting the middle finger in response. Anyway, so yeah, we're getting stupid. So yeah, again, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you guys for your input and your presence. We love you all. As always, be kind to one another. Stay safe. We appreciate you, and we will see you in the next episode. Goodbye. So yeah, hang loose and stay righteous.
Yeah, good save.
Thanks. All right, goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.